Live from the Maverick Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the first of a three-game series between the Grizzlies and the Tulsa Oilers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. As there's 3 games left in the regular season, as Utah will take on Tulsa 3 times here at Maverick Center, as Utah is looking for a postseason spot. Utah is currently tied for 5th with 68 standings points, but they are just 2 points behind both Kansas City and Wichita, who are tied for 3rd with 70 points. Allen has already clinched a playoff spot. Most likely they're going to be the number 2 seed in the Mountain Division. And for the Grizzlies, you almost feel like if they played the way they did last week against Idaho, those 1-goal losses can turn into 1 or 2-goal victories here this week, as Utah lost all 3 games last week to the Idaho Steelheads by 1 goal each. On last Wednesday, on April 5th, Utah lost 3-2 in overtime as Luke Martin got the game-tying goal with 1:10 left in regulation. On Friday night, Idaho won 2-1 at Idaho Central Arena. Then the scene shifted to Maverick Center. It was a very highly competitive and high-spirited game on Saturday. Idaho led 3-2 after 2 periods, and nobody scored in the third as the Steelheads came away with the series sweep. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here tonight, and we'll also see if the Rooster can pick up another goal, as he's got a goal in 7 straight games. It's the 4th of 6 season meetings between the Grizzlies and the Oilers. Utah won 2 out of 3 games at BOK Center in late January of 2023. It's the first time the Oilers have been here at Maverick Center since Game 7 of the first round Western Conference Best-of-7 series, as Utah got the victory and completed the 4-3 series victory, as Utah then went on to defeat Rapid City in 6 games. And then they lost the Western Conference Finals to the Toledo Walleye. So it should be a fun one here tonight as the fans are filing in here on a Bud Light College night. It's the last Bud Light College night of the regular season. Don't forget that Friday night's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be the final AFCU Friday of the regular year. And with AFCU Fridays, tickets charge just $8 when you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. And Saturday night, it's going to be Fan Appreciation Night and Star Wars Night, all wrapped up into one. Grizzlies are on the hunt for a playoff spot starting tonight against the Tulsa Oilers. And my estimation is the Grizzlies need to win at least 2 out of 3 games in order to find a way to secure a playoff spot. When we come back to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll talk with Guy Chiarenza and get his thoughts on things as we're in business on a Wednesday night, and you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies pregame report. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. If we look like we're very hot, that's because we are. It is very warm here at Maverick Center tonight. Not quite June at Boston Garden warm, but it looks like it's going to be a toasty one here for the first of a 3-game series. And Guy, a big series, and obviously the biggest series. I think we knew as far back as January, I think we had an idea that it was going to come down to the final week of the regular season before playoff spots were decided. And here we are, the final week of the regular season. And there's still 2 playoff spots up for grabs. And I think the Grizzlies need to win at least 2 out of 3 games in order to secure a playoff spot.
Here we are, Tyson, and we've known for a while now that it was going to come down to this final series against the Oilers. And you mentioned winning 2 out of 3. I think that is realistic for the Grizzlies. I think if they win at least 2, they'll be fine. I think if you're the Grizzlies, why not go ahead and shoot for all 3?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much do or die right now for the Grizzlies. You don't want to risk dropping a game to the Oilers here in this series and then potentially having to, scramble around to get that last win to maybe make the playoffs. You want to take care of business. You want to make a statement here against the Oilers. You want to have no doubt about it every single game, be a clear-cut Grizzlies win. You don't want to be fumbling around against the Oilers. They're going to be looking out for revenge.
I thought Utah played pretty well last week, even though they lost 3 games, all of them by 1 goal to Idaho. But the Roosters scored a goal in all 3 games, and I think he's going to have to come up big for the Grizzlies. He's paired up with Kyle Betts and Cameron Wright. That's right, Kyle Betts is back in a Grizzlies uniform. He was just released from the AHL's Belleville Senators. He played in 40 games with Belleville. He only played in 2 games with Utah earlier this season, so I think Kyle Betts is going to be a big factor for the Grizzlies down the stretch.
It's really nice to have Kyle Betts back in the Grizzlies lineup, and it was funny. I was thinking earlier today just how drastically different this Grizzlies roster is than from, say, a month ago. I mean, so many new additions. Now you add Kyle Betts to the fold, and you pair him with a guy who's red hot in Jordan Martell. I mean, 7 goals in his last 7 games. I mean, are you kidding me, Jordan? I mean, he's just on fire right now, and that's exactly what the Grizzlies need, is they need to catch fire right here, right now, going down the stretch into the playoffs. And that only makes the Grizzlies a dangerous team, but it also makes them a force to be reckoned with against the Oilers here today.
I got a feeling the Grizzlies are going to think special teams is going to be a big factor in this series. That's why Ryan Kanasowicz used most of his practice yesterday to go over power play and penalty kill situations. And I got to think that Luke Martin's going to be a big factor on this power play for the Grizzlies. He's going to be quarterbacking things up top.
I agree, Tyson. I mean, we've seen in his second stint here with the Grizzlies, I mean, he's got a wicked shot, and he proved that against the Idaho Steelheads. So why not improve on that and put him on the power play, which we haven't seen a whole lot of ever since he came back to the Grizzlies. Hopefully the Grizzlies can find a way to get back on the power play and get more opportunities here against the Oilers. And really the power play has been a subject of criticism for the Grizzlies over the last few weeks, where it just hasn't been clicking, and we want to see more from that power play unit. Well, I mean, right now is a really good chance against the Tulsa Oilers. I mean, this is a team that doesn't have a very good penalty kill, 24th in the league, and their power play is 24th in the league. So this could be what the Grizzlies special teams need to get a jump start heading into the playoffs.
I think if the Grizzlies want to get off to a fast start and really test Tulsa's will, do they want to play and come from behind, or with 3 games left in the season, they're pretty much eliminated from a playoff spot? In fact, they are eliminated from any playoff contention. Do they kind of just go through the motions if they get behind by a couple goals early?
I think it's very important, Tyson, that the Grizzlies come out, you're right, test Daniel Manella, but also get that first goal. I think the Grizzlies are so much better when they're playing with a lead. And you think about the Grizzlies' record when scoring first, 21-7-1. And this is a Grizzlies team that knows how to score first and knows how to play with a lead. The Grizzlies are very good at defending leads throughout the course of a game, but I think if you're going to play from behind, you don't want to play from behind against a team like the Tulsa Oilers. That might work well against the Wichita Thunder and other teams in the Mountain Division, but the Oilers seem to be one of those teams that kind of lock it down once they get a nice lead. So for the Grizzlies, you got to stay on top.
Trent Miner's going to get the start in net. He's got a .907 save percentage this season. I got a feeling Miner's going to play well. He played well against Tulsa in January, and he looked good against the Oilers last season. They'll be going up against Daniel Manella. And for Tulsa, unfortunately, goaltending's been a sore spot for them, as they just have an .876 save percentage as a team this season. And so teams have really had their way with Tulsa, who are in last place in the Mountain Division. And I think for the Grizzlies, like I said, you got to find a way to jump on them early.
Yeah, Tyson, I think that's the same formula that the Grizzlies used against the Wichita Thunder, another team that was struggling in goals, to just take shots, and even more shots. You got to test the goalie, you got to pepper him, and with the guys that have under 900 save percentages, the best thing you can do is just fire the puck on them. Chances are they're going to have trouble making a save. So for the Grizzlies, you just got to be on your A game and just fire them towards the net in the offensive zone.
Who's your pick for the Optum first goal of the game? Optum is committed to making healthcare work better, leading the way to better experiences, better health, and lower costs for you. What do you think scoring first for the Grizzlies tonight?
Tyson, I really like the way Nolan Ritchie played against the Idaho Steelheads. I'm going to go with him to get his first pro goal and the Optum first goal of the game here tonight.
Watching him in practice yesterday, Nolan Ritchie kind of reminded me of the skill set of Zach Sekos. A very quick guy, he can win battles along the boards, really good all-around player. He's about the similar size as Sekos. He's got a good shot like Sekos has. And I got a feeling Nolan Ritchie is going to be a pretty good pro, just the way Sekos was pretty good when he was healthy this season. Very similar skill set, and that's certainly a good pick. I think Nolan Ritchie is going to be a top-line center here this evening. Is going to be quite the force for the Grizzlies down the stretch. For me, I'm going to go with Luke Martin. I think Utah is going to get a power play early. I think Martin, just like he did on Wednesday, is going to get a puck in the high slot, just kind of fire a wrist shot that's going to have those eyes, the little wobbling motion. It's just going to kind of trickle its way past Daniel Manella. So I got Luke Martin as the opt-in first goal of the game score.
I'm surprised you're not going with Jordan Martell. I mean, you got to ride the hot hand. It seems like the last 2 games you picked Jordan Martell, and he scored a goal in each of those games. But, I mean, Luke Martin, ever since he came back to the Grizzlies, I think their blue line has been completely different. And that's not to discredit the work that the Grizzlies defensive unit has done before. But, I mean, you add a guy like Luke Martin, Kyle Mayhew to that lineup on the back ends. I really like that defensive core now.
I think it was interesting to see Ryan Kanasowicz use Kyle Mayhew as much as he did down the stretch. He played in Wednesday in overtime in the one shift that Utah was in. And on Saturday, last minute of the game, Utah needed a goal. Mayhew was one of the 2 defensemen out there.
I think that just shows how much confidence the coaches have in him, and for good reason. He's been playing like a pro, and we can't forget he was only inches away from getting his first pro goal on Saturday, just ended up hitting the pipe. But I think that guy's got a lot of electricity. I think he's going to be a great player, and I expect big things from him here today.
Should be a lot of fun here tonight. It's the Grizzlies and the Oilers, and when we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups for both teams. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Let's get to the starting lineups for both teams. First for the visiting Tulsa Oilers, who are led by Rob Murray. His assistant is Scott Duhart, Duauttre, Duhart. Dutart. He's the assistant coach. Starting in net for the Oilers is going to be Daniel Manella. He's got a record of 7-16-2 with a 3.91 goals against average and .875 save percentage. Manella is 6'1" and 182 pounds. He'll be making his 28th appearance this season. Tulsa's got a record of 22-38, 8-1 with 53 standings points. On the road this season, they have a record of 7-21-5. Daniel Manella will get the start in net. His backup is Riley Morris. Starting defensive pairing for the Oilers, Justin Bean is one defenseman, number 22. He is 6'2", 205 pounds. He has 4 goals and 20 assists in 68 games. The Tulsa captain is Mike McKee, who is 6'5" and 240 pounds. McKee is a longtime member of the Tulsa Oilers, so it's Bean and McKee, the starting defensive pairing. Starting forwards, Alex Crom, who's given the Grizzlies fits over the years. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists in 41 games. Ethan Stewart has played in 40 games this season. He's got 5 goals and 5 assists. He'll be wearing number 55. And number 71, Alex Gilmore, who performed pretty well against the Grizzlies in the postseason last year. He'll be wearing number 71. He's 6'5" and 220 pounds. He has 8 goals and 9 assists in 53 games. Other forwards we're expected to watch out for include Eddie Matsushima, who leads the Oilers with 28 goals this season. Tad Bertuzzi, with a couple different clubs this year. He played earlier this season with Norfolk. He has 24 goals and 28 assists in 61 games. He was acquired in a trade in late January, early February for Jimmy Soper. So watch out for Tad Bertuzzi as well as Eddie Matsushima. Those are 2 forwards that have really produced for the Oilers all season long. Now let's get to the lineup for the homestanding Utah Grizzlies, who are led by second-year head coach Ryan Kanasowicz. His assistant is the Sandy, Utah native Jared Pike. The Grizzlies have a record of 32, 33-4. They are 16-7 here at Maverick Center. The starting goaltender is Trent Miner, who's making his 35th appearance this season. Miner's got a record of 14, 15-3 with 2 shutouts, a 3.19 goals against average and .907 save percentage. Miner is 6'1" and 198 pounds. He's in the second year of a 3-year NHL entry-level deal with the Colorado Avalanche. He was drafted by the Avalanche in the 7th round of the 2019 draft. Starting defensive pairing, Kyle Mayhew, who's making his 4th professional appearance. Mayhew played at the University of Denver over the last 5 years. He is 5'8" and 160 pounds. He's got 4 penalty minutes and a -1 rating in 3 games. But watch out for him. He hit a post on Saturday, which means he came inches away from his first professional goal. The other defenseman that's getting the start is Aaron Tho, who's got 8 goals and 14 assists in 64 games. Tho's got a +2 rating. But he's been particularly good here since the start of February, as Aaron Tho is a +15 in his last 25 games. So watch out for Aaron Tho. Has been good over the last couple months. He'll be wearing number 28 as he's paired up with Kyle Mayhew. The other defensemen we're expected to see tonight include James Shearer, who's got an A on his sweater. Shearer has 5 goals and 17 assists in 51 games. He'll be paired up with Luke Martin, the Michigan man who's making his 29th appearance in this league. He's got a goal in 4 of his last 5 ECHL games. Martin a +4 rating. He had 25 points in 25 games with the Jacksonville Icemen. He also appeared in 28 games with the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Corey Thomas and Jacob Semick will also be in there for the Grizzlies. Thomas has 7 assists this season. Jacob Semick has 3 helpers in 10 games. So the starting defensive pairing is Mayhew and Tho. We'll also see Shearer, Luke Martin, Corey Thomas, and Jacob Semick. Starting forwards for the Grizzlies, Cameron Wright, who leads the league with 8 game-winning goals, will be in there. Wright leads the Grizzlies with 56 points. He is 6'1" and 200 pounds. He'll be lined up next to the Rooster. Jordan Martell has got a goal in 7 straight games. Martell is tied for 3rd on the club with 17 goals. And Kyle Betts returns to the Grizzlies after he spent 40 games with the AHL's Belleville Senators. Betts is 6'1" and 187 pounds. He'll be making his 3rd appearance for the Grizzlies, but first since October 22nd. So the starting forwards are Wright, Martell, and Betts. The other forwards are expected to see tonight include the Victoria Royals connection of Brandon Cutler and Taryn Pfizer. And they're going to be paired up with former Brandon Wheat Kings captain Nolan Ritchie. Ritchie was number 61 last week, but he'll be wearing number 11 as Kyle Betts gets his number 61 back. Betts played in 18 playoff games for the Grizzlies and had 5 goals and 5 assists. We'll also see Mick Messner out there, number 25. He played in college for 1 year at Merrimack College. Messner also was a college teammate with Tristan Crozier. Tristan Crozier, who's going to be wearing number 21 for Tulsa tonight. Those guys met at center ice and exchanged some pleasantries and probably trying to get back together, and they'll probably spend some time tomorrow as those guys were at Merrimack this past season. So Messner will be in there, as well as Keaton Jamison and the Ironman Tyler Penner, who's appeared in every game since the start of the 2021-22 season. We also see Dylan Fitz in there, who's tied for 3rd on the club with 17 points. And Kyle Pouncey will be acting as a forward tonight. Pouncey normally a defenseman, but he's playing a forward spot for the Grizzlies here down the stretch of the regular season. There's 3 games left, and we'll be doing some scoreboard watching as we'll keep an eye on the Allen and Kansas City game, as well as Idaho and Rapid City, as Idaho's going for the league record for the most wins in a single regular season. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight. The captain, Connor McDonald, is out, as is Bryson Martin. Also out is going to be Victor Bartley, as well as Cam Strong. Jared Powers also out. Dakota Raby and Zach Sekos, as well as Johnny Walker. When we come back here at Maverick Center, we'll face off as the Grizzlies are wearing the black jerseys with white numbers and professional green trim. Tulsa wearing a white jersey with navy blue on the sleeves and a little bit of rustic red mixed in. When we come back, we'll face off here at Maverick Center. It's the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. and I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Tulsa Oilers for the first time at Maverik Center since Game 7 of the first round best-of-7 Western Conference Series. Utah won that series 4-3. Brian Kanasowicz, the second-year head coach, is behind the bench. Jared Pike is his assistant. For the Tulsa Oilers, it's going to be Rob Murray, who's been with the club for quite a while. Murray used to coach the Alaska Aces. Murray, a former NHL player, and he's done a good job with Tulsa, although it has been a frustrating year for the Oilers, who are in last place in the Mountain Division. Grizzlies are wearing the black jerseys with white numbers and professional green trim. Tulsa's wearing a white jersey with red numbers and navy blue on the sleeves, a little bit of white mixed in. Two referees tonight, Sam Heidemann and Brendan Schreider. The linesmen are James McKenna and Tyler Keston. Big game in the Mountain Division playoff race, as Utah currently is tied for fifth with Rapid City with 68 standings points, two behind the tie for third with Kansas City and Wichita. Puck is dropped at center ice. Kyle Betts returns to the club as he wins the draw, and we're underway as the Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it from high top section 114. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Yeah, I know what YouTube's known for. I'll try to paint a picture for you. As the puck near the Tulsa blue line, they'll chip it out to center ice. Though dumps it back in. He gets hit pretty hard by Alex Crom, who plays a physical game. Tulsa will nudge it ahead. Ethan Stewart gets it right wing. He'll skate towards the circle. Now he stops just before he gets to the corner. He'll drive it back up top for Justin Bean, number 22. Bean will roll it back around for Alex Gilmore. He's in the near corner. He loses the puck as Mayhew moves it ahead. As he gets over to the Rooster, Martell with a right wing pass off the boards. Betts gets it on the right side. Betts stops. Grizzlies make a line change around him. He gets it to James Shearer, but the puck taps off his stick and goes to center ice. Darren Pfizer gets to Luke Martin back in the Grizzlies zone. Martin sporting a mustache, gets to right. It tapped off his stick and goes to Tulsa. The Oilers gain center ice, and they'll wrap it around the boards. Miner cuts it out behind the net. Miner's played well against Tulsa in the past. They'll tap it off the near glass. And battling is Blake McLaughlin as he'll throw it towards the middle, and it pokes away from the stick of Tristan Crozier. Grizzlies cross center ice as they cut in front of Nolan Ritchie, who's wearing number 11. He was number 61 last week. 61 is Kyle Betts. Oilers cross center ice as Gilmore gets to the left side, steps over the blue line. He gets hit by Martin and gets divorced in the puck. As Crozier gets boxed out by Ritchie, moves over to Taryn Pfizer, who gains center ice in the right wing, and he dumps it in slowly as puck trickles towards the end boards of Tulsa's zone. Oilers from left to right as Crozier loses the puck. Messner gets it poked away. Messner and Crozier were teammates at Merrimack this year as they get it over to Dante Sheriff, number 29. He'll pass it, tapped off the stick of Eddie Matsushima, races to the right corner. Matsushima delivers a hit on Corey Thomas. Now it goes over to Jamison. Back to Penner along the far side, deep in the Grizzlies zone as Penner will chip it across off the boards for Corey Thomas. We'll move it out to center for Messner. Messner in the left wing dumps it in as Messner gets pushed by Carl Boudrea, number 16 for Tulsa. As puck goes back over towards the Oilers, Tag Bertuzzi turns it over. Right side, Penner ready. Shot goes wide as Sheriff will throw it out to neutral ice. Mayhew gets the wobbling puck, and he gets it taken away by Tag Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi, number 72, is one of their best scorers. Matsushima, right side, who tries to feed it out in front. Sheriff couldn't reach it. Sheriff now skates towards his right. He swings and misses. Kyle Pouncey's in the area. Now the puck goes to the Oilers zone as Sheriff gets over towards number 25, Andrew Jarvis, 5'8", 176 pounds. The Oilers cross center ice, and they dump it in, but it looks like the puck goes out of play as we get our first whistle with 17:27 left in the first. Feels like the building's pretty warm here as the temperature is finally starting to feel like spring outside. Crowd still filing in here. Still early on, so grab some chips and dip and a beverage of your choice and enjoy a little bit of Wednesday with us. Draws near the Grizzlies bench. Blake McLaughlin, 6 feet, 185 pounds, will take the draw, but it's won by the Grizzlies as Pfizer will get it back to Mayhew. Back over to Pfizer, leads Utah with 25 goals. Left wing pass to Mayhew, kicks off the skate. Puck flies in the air, and it goes to Justin Bean, who will move it ahead. It's wide of Gilmore. It goes to Tho, who dumps in from just outside the Tulsa blue line. Oilers will chip it ahead. Turnover as the puck rolls towards the left point, and it's taken by Michael Farron, who will skate in. Farron loses the puck as Mayhew gets around Jackson Leaf. Mayhew gains center ice wearing number 6. He gets knocked down by Farron, and Mayhew loses the puck as Leaf will throw it across as Gilmore tosses towards center ice. Now the Oilers enter the offensive zone as Michael Farron gets knocked down as 2-on-2 scrum over in the far corner of the Grizzlies zone. It goes to Dylan Fitz. He loses the puck as Tulsa throws to the left side. Lefty shot. Saved by Minor. And it might have deflected off the stick of Mayhew as Gilmore on the right side being shadowed by Fitz will drop it off. Right wing shot. And it's blocked by Mayhew. Shearer clears it out towards center ice. Oilers with the puck, but they will reset things. Utah makes a line change. We're about 4 minutes into the contest. Still no score. Grizzlies throw it to Martell on the left side. Martell near the boards will throw it across. That bounces off of Crozier as Tulsa clears out the center. Crozier in a foot race with Martin, but Luke Martin gets it. The other Martin on the Grizzlies, Bryson Martin's a scratch. Right with a left wing pass to Martell. Martell skates towards the right circle. Take a shot. Saved by Manella. Now goes to the left side. Martin will skate towards his right. Martin fires a wrist shot, and it's blocked out in front. Grizzlies shot. Saved by Manella as Kyle Betts had to look from out in front. Betts over in the corner being shadowed by Crozier. Betts played his college hockey at Cornell. Now Cameron Wright skates towards the corner as he tries to get away from Cameron Subrika. As he'll feed it up top for Martin. Right point shot. Saved by Manella. And Manella kicks his net open as the net gets dislodged. And we get a whistle with 15:33 left in the first. Utah has taken the first 4 shots of play tonight as the draw is going to be in the Oilers zone. Good shift by Cameron Wright, Kyle Betts, and Jordan Martell. Coming out on the ice is Brandon Cutler. His Victoria Royals teammate Taryn Fizer's out there. Nolan Ritchie will take the draw. I was watching Ritchie in practice. He kind of reminded me a skill set of Zach Sekos. Similar size to Sekos and seemed to be a similar skill set. And if Nolan Ritchie's anything like Zach Sekos, he's going to be quite the player. Puck is dropped, and puck glides towards the corner on the near side. Fizer gets double-teamed. He'll chip it off the side of the net. Mike McKee, the longest tenured Oiler, will throw it to the far side as Tulsa lifts it out to center ice. It's taken by Martin at the Utah blue line. They'll move it out to center ice. He'll bounce off an Oiler. Fizer between his legs to Cutler. Left point. Cutler with a shot that goes wide. As Ritchie moves up top for Martin, he'll take a right point shot, and it goes wide. Manella might have gotten a piece of it. As Fizer will skate towards his right. He loses the puck. Matsushima gets tripped up by Fizer. No call. As we have 2 referees and 2 linesmen tonight. As Tulsa skates around their goaltender, and they'll tap it off the near boards. Goes past everybody, including Kyle Mayhew. No icing on the play as Mayhew gets chased down by Matsushima. Now in the slot, Sheriff drops it off as Jarvis with a right wing shot. And it's blocked by Shearer as Cutler rolls along the boards. As Penner on the left side will nudge it to center ice for Ritchie, who gets it. He crosses center ice, and they'll tap it in slowly as the Grizzlies make a line change. So do the Oilers. 5.5 minutes in, still no score. Utah's taking the first 4 shots. Penner over to the right side for Pouncey. He'll take a shot. Saved by Manella. Manella made that save in the butterfly position as Messner knocks down an Oiler. Goes to James. He'll skate towards his right. He'll get over to Penner. Penner overskates it as Ethan Stewart will skate around his net. Stewart's brother has a Grizzlies connection. We'll tell you later on. As Stewart delivers a hit on Aaron Tho. Stewart gets pushed in the back by Penner as the puck goes back in the Oilers zone as Tulsa will tap it off the near boards. It goes to Mayhew, skates back to the Utah blue line. Now he moves ahead to Jamison. Jamison loses it as Crozier skates towards the left side. He'll veer off to the corner. Crozier gets pushed by Jamison but keeps his feet. He'll throw it up top to Budreas. He'll take a right wing shot. Saved by Minor. Rebound goes towards the end boards as Alex Crom will spin it up top for Cameron Suprika. He'll skate towards his right. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Minor. Actually, might have been blocked by Tho out in front of Minor. Suprika gets it back in the left point. He'll throw it across to Budrea. One-timer, and it goes wide. As Grizzlies get it, Kyle Betts will skate towards the right side. He'll get around an Oiler. Big-time collision. Manella goes down, and the net goes flying open. 13:28 left in the first. And we'll see if any penalties come of it, as Betts ran into Daniel Manella, who was pushed into him by an Oiler. 13:28 left in the first. Utah's taken the first 5 shots of the contest. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Grizzlies chip it. Corey Thomas with a shot, and it's blocked as Tulsa will get out to center ice. And number 28, Calvin Watson will dump it in. Watson towards the far corner. He'll chip it around as Tulsa in the attack zone as they get taken away. As they're looking for Justin Bean. Wright gets around Bean. He skates towards the left side. He'll take a shot and he scores. Oh, he doesn't score. Now he scores as Cameron Wright hit the post. Got the rebound and put it away as Utah's taking a 1-0 lead. Wright gets his 25th of the year as he is the Optum first goal of the game scorer. Cameron Wright high-fives everybody on the Grizzlies bench as he just skated towards the left circle after getting around Justin Bean. He took a shot and hit the post. Actually hit both posts, and the puck ended up in the crease, and Cameron Wright got there before any Oiler was able to spot it. That hit both the far post and the near post, and then Wright was able to get the rebound and put it away. So Cameron Wright gets his 25th of the year as Utah leads 1-0. As the Oilers get to center ice, and Tag Bertuzzi lifts it in. Puck deep in the Grizzlies zone as Martin moves ahead to Pfizer, couldn't reach it. As McKee over to Bean, right wing shot goes wide as it was redirected by Dante Sheriff. As over in the right corner, Ritchie gets it taken away. Matsushima fires towards a crease. Sheriff couldn't reach it. Now it goes to Cutler across the center ice. Right wing pass to Pfizer. Pfizer gets around McKee. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Manella. Now Ritchie with a far side shot. Saved by Manella. As Ritchie fired away from about the goal line on the far side on a tough angle. And Manella made the save. Timeout on the ice. 12:20 left in the first period as Cameron Wright gets his 25th of the year. Utah leads 1-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Utah leads 1-0 as Cameron Wright scored 7:04 into the contest. It was an unassisted goal. Right now has 25 goals, which is tied with Taryn Pfizer for the club lead. Utah has 7 shots. Tulsa's yet to take one. Oilers win the draw as the puck drifts over towards the near boards. Luke Martin battles and he'll skate towards the corner. Martin wearing number 44. It's what he wore last year. He gets pushed in the back, but Martin's got good size. He keeps his field. Now he centers to Cutler. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Manella. And the whistle blows with 12:04 left in the first as Manella made a glove save. It's kind of surprising to see Daniel Manella struggle the way he has this season, as he was a brick wall for the Oilers most of last year, where he had a .907 save percentage and 2.60 goals against average. Manella last year was 29, 16, and 4. But this year's just been a struggle where he's got a 3.91 goals against average and a .875 save percentage. Manella also spent some time with the San Diego Gulls, at 6'1" and 185 pounds. Draw on the far side is won by the Oilers. They'll nudge it towards number 16, Carl Bedreas. And Bedrea will throw it to the left side as Tulsa. Left wing shot, saved by Minor. Rebound out in front as Betts will throw it towards the near side. As Watson looks to center, it's picked off by Tho. So they'll nudge it ahead to Pouncey. Pouncey gains center ice, and they'll tap it in. As Messner comes off the ice, and entering is Dylan Fitz. Betts delivers a hit. The puck goes over to the far corner. Tulsa lifts it into the air. It's the first time the Oilers have been here since the video board has been put in place. Puck wobbles towards Trent Minor. Kyle Mayhew gets it. They'll throw it behind his back for Tho on the far side. Tho will nudge it ahead to Fitz, who gains center ice. He'll feed it across to Jamison, who gets hit up high. No call as delayed offside. Tulsa gets it as the Oilers will cross center ice. Calvin Watson, his 8th game. He'll skate towards the right side. Toe drag. He gets around Scheer. Watson shot, saved by Minor. Rebound. And a backhand shot goes wide as looks like the puck either hit the protective netting or once again the net got dislodged. Boy, twice Daniel Manella's net has come out of place, and now Trent Minor's net has come off place. Got to wonder about the ice conditions. As Guy and I were feeling it here before the game, the building itself is very warm here tonight. Not quite June in Boston Garden type of warm, but it feels like it's a little bit toasty here at Maverick Center. I'm keeping my shirt on, though, even though I have contemplated it here in the first 9 minutes. Draw one by the Grizzlies as Martin gets over to Scher, moves ahead to Messner. It goes between his legs and deep in the Oilers zone. Daniel Manella raises his left arm, and the referee and linesman both raise their right arms as icing is on the Grizzlies with 11:01 left in the first. It's the first of a 3-game series. Don't forget to join us on Friday night for the final AFC Friday of the regular season, where tickets start just $8 when you pay using your AFC debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. And Saturday night's going to be Fan Appreciation Night and Star Wars Night, all rolled up into one. That's going to be the regular season finale. As draw goes over to the corner, deep in the Grizzly zone, Martin will throw it across to Scher, chases after it. He'll pitchfork it ahead, but it goes towards Crozier. Now taking it's Tyler Penner as he'll ice the puck. Messner skates over there, so is Mike McKee. And McKee wins the foot race, even though he's a big guy in an advanced stage. And icing is on the Grizzlies with 10:48 left in the first. Draw's going to come back towards Trent Miner, who played the first 2 games of the Idaho series. On Saturday night was Garrett Metcalf in net. In fact, Miner's last performance was on Friday night, where he stopped 45 of 47. He did a great job keeping the Grizzlies in the game, but Idaho ended up winning 2-1. Draw one by the Grizzlies as Martin skates around Miner as he'll move it ahead. Tyler Penner will have a tap off his stick, and Tulsa will throw it back in as it ricochets off the near boards. Scher gets there before Watson. Scher won the Unsung Hero Award at the Booster Club dinner earlier this week, and he certainly deserved that. As puck deep in the Oilers zone, Penner will chip it across. It bounced off of Manella towards the near side. Messner battles at the goal line. Now Tulsa throws to the near side for Watson. As Calvin Watson crosses center ice, he'll move it ahead to Crozier, who couldn't reach it. As Jacob Semick, the Arizona State product, will tap it off the near glass. Penner battles with Connor McEachern. McEachern, the 6'4", 200-pound defenseman. As puck goes to Cameron Wright in Oilers territory, he'll step over the blue line. He gets pushed by Boudreau. It goes back to Tulsa. As McEachern will throw it to Dante Sheriff. It's poked away by Thomas. Now Cameron Wright will chip it to his left for Betts. Betts on the left side will skate towards the corner. McEachern will push him. Now another Oiler. Boudreau will push Betts. The puck lines back towards the near side as Corey Thomas gets to the right. Right on the left side gets around 2 Oilers. Now he tried to complete the play and lose the puck as he was trying to skate towards Daniel Manella's left shoulder. Boudreau will dump it into the offensive zone. He avoids a check of Semick as now the Grizzlies get it back as Jordan Martell skates across center ice. The Rooster gets around Dante Sheriff, but Sheriff takes his legs away and knocks him down. As Martell's still down, he gets up slowly. As Tulsa gains center ice, but Nolan Ritchie takes it away as Ritchie will skate deeper into the Grizzly zone as he'll tap it off the end boards near the Mavericks sign. Puck glides along the near side. It goes to Martell at neutral ice. Martell moves it ahead as he gets hit by Matsushima. We haven't had a penalty in this game yet as Justin Bean crosses center ice. He dumps it in near where Grisby's sitting in the front row. As it goes to Brandon Cutler, who skates down the middle. Make that Aaron Tho. Moves ahead to Ritchie, who couldn't reach it. As McKee will move it ahead to Alex Gilmore. Will tap it over into the Grizzlies bench as he tried to tap it off the glass. And it goes into the tunnel towards the Grizzlies locker room. It's taken by Jackson Hibbard, the assistant equipment manager, and he'll find a young one to give it to. Grizzlies feel like there's an increased amount of focus here for this week's games. They know they got to win at least 2 out of 3 to give themselves a chance at the playoffs and maybe win all 3 if they want to find a way to get that 3rd seed. Draws near the Oilers bench. Ritchie will take it. He averaged exactly 1 point a game in his WHL career with the Wheat Kings. Draw one by the Oilers. Tulsa will move it ahead as McEachern got hit pretty hard. Make that number 27, Michael Farron. As Farron, towards the near side, chases after Mayhew, moves out to center ice. Puck goes back to Mike McKee in the Oilers zone. As he'll skate towards the far side, he'll chip it out to center ice. The Oilers near the Grizzlies bench. Jackson Leaf loses it. Leaf was pretty good for the Oilers last year. Now it goes to Alex Gilmore. He gets to center ice. He gets challenged by Pfizer. Now Cutler takes it away. He'll skate towards the left circle, take a lefty shot. Save by Manella. Good look by Brandon Cutler, but Manella made the save with 8:23 left in the first. Utah's up to 9 shots. Tulsa's taken 2 here early on. The draw is going to be in the Oilers zone. As Guy and I mentioned, if the Grizzlies get off to an early lead, what's the compete level going to be for Tulsa, who's got nothing to play for except for maybe a little bit of payback, as it was the Grizzlies that knocked the Oilers out of the playoffs last year. Jameson will take the draw on the near side. Although this time it's won by Tristan Crozier, the Merrimack product for Tulsa. Puck goes towards the far side, tapped off a Crom stick. It goes to Neutrice. McMessner gets it, wearing number 25. Messner will chip it towards Manella as he gets the wobbling puck and kicks towards the near side. As Connor McEachran will throw it out to center ice. It goes to Crozier. He gets the wobbling puck and throws to his left. As the puck will squirrel over towards the far boards. And Sure will tap it off the boards to center ice. Tulsa resets. Boudreau at Neutrice fires a shot. Saved by Minor. Rebound goes to Shearer, the former Brandon Wheat King. He was not a teammate, though, with Nolan Ritchie. They played at separate times. As Tulsa back in their own end. Tag Bertuzzi. Good addition by Rob Murray a couple months ago. They'll throw it to Boudreau. Back to Bertuzzi across the center ice. He wears number 72. He'll dump it in. Minor behind his net. Will chip it back towards Cameron Wright on the near side. Wright gets pushed by Matsushima. Puck moves ahead to Betts, who crosses center ice. He'll backhand it towards the corner where it's taken by Cameron Suprika. As he'll throw it back towards the near side. Sheriff clears it out. Cameron Wright chases after it. He gets it in the Grizzlies zone to throw it behind his back towards Corey Thomas. Betts throws it from one blue line to the other. It goes back to the Oilers. As McKee rink wide pass to Sheriff. He'll throw it back towards his left. As the Oilers step over the line. Left point. Lefty shot. Glove saved by Minor. That last shot was taken by Tag Bertuzzi, number 72. He probably could have skated towards the left circle, but he just called his own number at the point. And Minor made a routine save. Utah's outshot Tulsa 10-3 here so far, as the fans are still filing in here on a Wednesday night. The final Bud Light College night of the regular season. Draws give me the far side. Tristan Crozier will take it once again for Tulsa against Taryn Pfizer. Utah leads 1-0, 7:03 left in the first. Grizzlies win the draw. Kyle Mayhew behind the net, turnover. Ido will throw it back towards the far side as McLaughlin missed on a wraparound. It goes back towards Cutler and moves to center ice for Pfizer. Pfizer will tap it off the boards. Fitz chases after it. Fitz couldn't get there. McKee will throw it dangerously in front of his own net as Bean will move it ahead to McLaughlin. This will get to Crozier across the center ice and dumps in. Looks like Crozier's been one of Tulsa's best players early. Goes towards the near side, centering pass, shot to score. What a pass towards Blake McLaughlin as he cut towards the net. McLaughlin roofed it over the shoulder of Trent Minor. So Blake McLaughlin gets his 12th goal of the season on a beautiful pass from Calvin Watson, and the Oilers have tied it up. They show the replay on the video board. It was a great play by Watson. He just chipped it out in front to McLaughlin. And that was a terrific one-time tap from out in front of the net. Good play by Blake McLaughlin. He gets his 32nd point of the season. McLaughlin with the goal. Calvin Watson gets his 3rd assist, and this is 8th game in the league. We're tied at 1. 6.5 minutes left in the first period. Draw goes between the Grizzlies defenseman. Luke Martin has to chase after it. He's stationed behind Trent Minor. Martin over to Shearer, who will chip it out to center ice. Messner gets it. Messner will backhand it deep in the Oilers zone as he chases after it. McEachran will throw it to number 25, Andrew Jarvis, as he'll lift it high into the air. Bounced off a penner stick and flies into the front row of Section 1. Trying to locate it, and it looks like somebody's come away with the souvenir. Draws give me the Oilers zone. Utah took a 1-0 lead as Cameron Wright scored unassisted 7:04 in. Tulsa tied it up 13-29 in as Blake McLaughlin got his 12th of the year on an assist from Calvin Watson. Betts will take the draw, and it's good to see him back in a Grizzlies uniform. He pretty much spent the entire season with Belleville. He was just with the Grizzlies for the first weekend. He played in 40 games at Belleville and had 1 goal and 2 assists. As a draw, Tulsa finally gets after everybody was trying to locate it. Oilers try to move it ahead. They bounced off a right. Now it goes to Gilmore. He'll skate towards the right circle, take a lefty shot. Saved by Minor. And Trent holds on as Alex Gilmore, not a very quick guy. He just kind of lumbered into the right circle and had a good look from the right side, and he took a lefty shot. But Gilmore's got 8 goals this season in 53 games, and Minor made the save. 5:54 is left in the first. We're tied at 1. Utah's outshot Tulsa 10-5 here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. 5:54 is left in the first period. We're tied at 1 as Utah wins the faceoff in their own zone. Luke Martin throws out to center ice. It's gloved and dropped by Carl Boudrea. And so move it ahead. Puck bounces off to Shearer. Now Shearer gets to Cameron Wright. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the first period. As Wright enters from the left side, he'll drop it off for Martell. He throws it behind his back for Wright. Pass connects. Wright with a shot. Saved by Manella, but a great play by Martell and Wright. As Martell threw it behind his back, and the pass went tape to tape to Wright. It was along the near goal line. Kind of had a tough angle on Manella. And if Manella would have allowed a rebound there, Wright would have been ready to convert on the second chance. Wright's goal was certainly tricky as he hit both posts on his way and then got the rebound as Manella couldn't locate it, and that's how Utah led 1-0. They added an assist to Tristan Crozier on the McLaughlin goal, scored 13:29 into the first. We're tied at 1. Utah's taken 11 shots. Tulsa's taken 5. Oilers win the draw. Eddie Matsushima, their all-star representative this year, will throw it out to center ice. It goes back to Shearer in the Grizzlies zone. He'll nudge it across to Martin, who will move it ahead as it bounced off the skate of Cameron Wright. Now it goes back to Martin. Martin over to Martell. Skates towards the left corner. Martell's got a goal in 7 straight games. He gets held up by McKee. Penalty is going to be called, and it's going to be on McKee. Tulsa touches up the puck. McKee argues the call, but it's going to be hooking as Mike McKee is going to go to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. If you or someone you know been charged with a DUI, Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Calling it Utah's #1 DUI defense team. Rogers and Russell. Mike McKee, 2 minutes for hooking. Utah's on the power play as Utah wins the draw. As Nolan Ritchie, left side, takes a shot, he scores! Save that puck, Mason Wayland, as Nolan Ritchie gets his first as a pro. And Utah's taking a 2-1 lead. Boy, just kind of an innocent-looking wrist shot from the left circle as Nolan Ritchie high-fives everybody on the Grizzlies bench. As the Grizzlies have taken a 2-1 lead as Ritchie, we mentioned a skill set very similar to Zach Sekos. That's kind of the type of shot that Zach Sekos would score on. There was some traffic out in front, and I'm not sure that Daniel Manella really had good vision of the goal. Ritchie with the goal. Martin and Pfizer with the assist. Time of goal, 14:55 into the first period. We're skating 5-on-5. Action deep in the Tulsa zone. As Pfizer battles, puck goes to Cutler. As puck lifts high into the air towards the slot. As Utah gets it back to the left point. Shearer throws it across to Cutler. He'll bounce off his stick. Cutler gets it back. He'll feed it up top for Martin. Martin with the right point shot that goes wide. Shearer on the left side gets it back to Ritchie, who throws it behind his back as Cutler couldn't reach it in the far corner. As Blake McLaughlin, the Tulsa goal scorer, will move it ahead. Crozier crosses center ice and they'll dump it in. Martin chases after it. Getting there first is Calvin Watson. He gets hit by Martin. Puck behind Utah's net as McLaughlin goes down. And it's going to be a penalty on Utah as Nolan Ritchie scored his first professional goal. And Nolan Ritchie picks up his first professional penalty as he's going to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for tripping as he brought down Blake McLaughlin towards the ice. Ritchie not even arguing the case. To kind of go from hero to the penalty box in a hurry, does Nolan Ritchie. Time of his penalty, 15:38 into the first. As I mentioned, he's got a skill set very similar to Zach Sekos. And if he's going to have the type of year next year in his first full season as a pro that Zach Sekos had this year when healthy, he's going to be quite the force. Tulsa wins the draw. They trail 2-1. Jackson Leaf on the right side throws it up top for Suprika. Back to Boudrea, over to Suprika. He'll feed it to the left side. Now back to Suprika, who swings and misses as the puck glides towards the right side. Grizzlies might get a cold there from the fan there for Suprika. As Matsushima over to Suprika. They'll throw it to Leaf. Right side shot goes wide on a one-timer. Puck bounced off the stanchion and goes towards the left circle. Now it's up top for Matsushima. Across to Leaf. Over to Suprika. They'll feed it back to the left side. Matsushima will take a lefty shot that goes wide. Leaf couldn't reach as the puck glides along the near boards and it goes out to center ice. 3:40 and counting left in the first period. Utah leads 2-1. The Grizz have outshot the Oilers 12-5. Jackson Leaf skates down the middle, drop it off to his left as the Oilers re-enter. Eddie Matsushima gets to take in a good back check as Cameron Wright gathers it. He'll move it ahead to Betts, who couldn't reach it. Betts chases after it as he gets it on the left side. Betts with a lefty shot, saved by Manella. Rebound goes to Tulsa as the play develops, as Bertuzzi will get it out to center ice. He'll veer it to his right for Farron. He'll take a righty shot and it bounced wide off the end boards as the net gets kicked open again. As puck glides towards the right side, Miner puts it back in place himself. As though with a long-range pass, it doesn't connect. Now right to the right side, takes a shot that goes wide as the puck bounced off the corner and rolled towards the slot. As Tulsa gets over to Crozier, who gains the blue line, drops off for Watson on the right side. As Watson throws up top for Bean. Now across to Boudreau. Now to the far side. They're trying to center to McLaughlin. He couldn't reach it. As Cutler moves over to Pfizer. Back towards Cutler, but it bounced off Justin Bean's stick. Now Pfizer gets it back, trying to roll it towards Cutler, who couldn't reach it. Cutler gets taken away in the near corner. 12 seconds left in the Tulsa power plays. The right wing pass connects to Watson. Watson drops off for McLaughlin. Will skate towards the near corner. Back up top for Bean. Bean skates towards the right circle. Take a righty shot that goes wide. Puck glides towards the left side. Boudreau gets it across to McLaughlin. Fitz picks it off. As Ritchie fresh out of the box. Pfizer skates towards the right circle. Chips out front to Ritchie. Backhand shot. Saved by Manella. And the Tulsa goaltender holds on. 2:11 left in the first. Great pass by Pfizer out in front to Ritchie. And looked like Ritchie's backhand shot was a little bit crafty. Manella kind of had to bobble it for a second as though it was like kind of a change-up off the stick of Ritchie. Manella was able to make the save, though, and Utah did have a second chance. Fitz came in the last minute with a drive-by and just fired it into Manella's pads, and he was able to hold on. On the Utah goal, instead of Pfizer getting the assist, looks like they're going to give it to Brandon Cutler. So Ritchie gets the goal with Martin and Cutler getting the assist. 14:55 into the first. Off the draw, Ritchie with a shot that goes wide. Actually got blocked by Tulsa. Sure gets knocked down by Alex Crame. A difficult-looking shot, difficult-looking hit. The whistle blows, and it's going to be a penalty on Alex Crom, who kind of awkwardly hit James Sure along the boards. Sure gets up slowly. Crom argues his case. He doesn't think that he should be going to the box, but Alex Crom is going to go to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2:02 left in the first period. Utah leads 2-1. 2 minutes for boarding. Alex Crom goes to the box. He's kind of pushed Shearer. It's one of those calls where if Shearer's closer to the boards, maybe they let that sort of thing go. But since Shearer kind of crashed the boards a little bit awkwardly, Crom goes to the box. Betts will take the draw. He's got Martell to his left, Fitz to his right. Up top is Kyle Mayhew and Cameron Wright. That's 5 on the ice for the Grizzlies. Taking the draw for Tulsa's Eddie Matsushima. He's got Mike McKee out there as well. Utah's taken 15 shots. Tulsa's taken 5. 2:01 left in the first period. Utah leads 2-1. .202 left in the first. They put 2 minutes on the stadium scoreboard clock. One of the referees points to the linesman, says, let's drop the puck. Matsushima puts a palm in the air. Let's see. Betts gets kicked out of the face-off circle, it looks like. And Cameron Wright looks like he's going to take the draw. Wright's got a goal tonight. He scored unassisted 7:04 into the first period. Him and Taryn Pfizer are now tied for the club lead with 25 goals. Wright was outstanding last season, leading the University of Denver to a national championship. He was a teammate of Kyle Mayhew's that year. Draw one by the Grizzlies. Mayhew towards Martell, gets hit. Betts trying to get back towards Mayhew, taken away by Matsushima. He gets around Mayhew as the puck deep in the Grizzlies zone. Matsushima gets there before Wright. And so skate towards the far side. Matsushima will chip it back to neutral ice from his offensive zone as it goes back towards the Tulsa blue line. Bean moves it ahead. Didn't get much on it as it rolls back to Fitz, who skates down the middle. Fitz with a backhand shot. He fanned on it. Fitz gets pushed along the boards by McKee. As the puck goes to Kyle Mayhew on the left side, he'll skate towards his right. He'll chip it to the near goal line to Fitz. Back to Mayhew. We'll skate towards the left point. Now glide it across to Wright. Back to Mayhew. Gets it back to Wright. Right across to Martell. The Rooster on the left side takes a shot. And he swings and fans on it. Now goes back to Mayhew in the slot. Over to Martell off the near boards. Martell will skate towards the corner, and I'll chip it to the near goal line for Fitz, who skates around Tulsa's net. He'll tap it back to the right side for Wright, who throws to Betts, who's on the right side. Betts skates towards the circle. He'll be up top to Betts. 1 minute left in the first period. Utah leads 2-1. Martell skates towards the right circle, take a righty shot. It's blocked by Bean. As the puck goes back towards Jackson Leaf, who couldn't reach it. Now it goes up top to Martell on the right side. Over to Mayhew in the high slot. Back to Martell. He's all alone. He'll chip it across the right. He'll take a shot. Saved by Manella. Right had a good look from the left side, but Manella made the save. Rebound goes towards the near boards. Right over towards Fitz, who will get it up top for Mayhew. Mayhew keeps the line as he'll skeet towards the left side. Mayhew gets around 3 Oilers. Now he chips to Fitz. He'll take a shot. Saved by Manella. Puck goes back to Fitz in the near side. He'll get it up top for Mayhew. Mayhew over to Martell on the left side near the boards. Martell feeds out in front, bounced up in McKee. Now Martell he takes a shot, he scores! The Rooster now has a goal in 8 straight games, as it's another power play goal, and Utah has taken a 3-1 lead. The red-hot Jordan Martell does it again. As he high-fives everybody on the Grizzlies bench. There was just a few occasions there on the power play. He was just left all alone. And Martell gets it past Daniel Manella. Martell with the goal, Mayhew and Fitz with the assist. And for Kyle Mayhew, that's his first professional point. Martell is on the left side. He bounced it off of McKee and got it back off of McKee, almost as if he had planned it that way. And then Martell just kind of found a happy spot and got it past Daniel Manella. As they'll play the Rooster sound effect. As Tulsa wins the face-off and dumps it in. Play goals in the first period. Utah worked on that just about the entire practice yesterday. As Mick Messner gets to center ice, he'll dump it in. 5 seconds left in the period. And as Suprika moves ahead, it goes to center ice and time runs out on the Oilers in the first period. As it was a 1-1 tie and Utah scored 2 unanswered power play goals. The first was scored by Nolan Ritchie, who got his first as a pro, 14:55 in. And then with 19 seconds left in the period, 19:41 in, it was the Rooster getting his 18th of the year. He is now 3rd on the club with 18 goals. And getting the assist were Dylan Fitz and Kyle Mayhew, who picked up his first professional point. Well, it's hot in the building, and the playoff race is heating up. When we come back to the Rio Tinto Kennecott intermission report, we'll be joined by Guy Chiarenza, and we'll get his thoughts on things. And we'll also go over some scores in the Mountain Division and how it involves the playoff picture. And really, what do the Grizzlies need to do over the next 8 periods of regulation to secure a playoff spot? Utah 3, Tulsa 1 after 1 period of play here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Now we're through 20 minutes at Maverick Center. Utah leads 3-1. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Guy hanging out here in the press row. kind of creating his own play-by-play. Guy, how'd the first period go?
I think it was a fantastic first period for the Tyson on the Grizzlies side of things. It's a little tough to identify the Oilers with those shoulder numbers. It's a burgundy number with white outline. Kind of tough to see when they're in the far corner. But other than that, it's been a fun game.
Yeah, that's why I struggled in the first period, too. Utah got on the board first as Cameron Wright scored 7:04 in, where he hit both posts and then got the rebound out in front, and he was able to get there before Daniel Manella or a Tulsa defenseman was able to identify it. And Wright put it away for his 25th of the year, which is now tied for the club lead with Taryn Pfizer. I don't know if I've seen that, all that often the 5 years I've been calling games. They hit both posts, hit the left post and the right post. And then Wright just kind of skated around a couple guys, got around Manella, and was able to put it away.
It's a double doink.
That's right. Chicago Bears fans would know about that. Tulsa tied the game 13-29 in as Blake McLaughlin got his 12th of the year. Calvin Watson and Tristan Crozier with the assist. Here's how Calvin Watson spells his first name. Kalvyn. Calvin.
And you think he's from Utah with it?
That's right.
Spelling like
That's
that.
right. I was thinking he was a Utah native. We'd have a local boy coming home. He's actually from Canada. I think he's from the same spot of Canada that Dylan Fitz is from. Speaking of Dylan Fitz, he picked up an assist later in the first period. Grizzlies took a 2-1 lead as Nolan Ritchie scored his first professional goal on a quick-looking wrist shot from the left circle. Luke Martin and Brandon Cutler picked up the assist. We noticed that Taryn Pfizer saved the puck, so Mason Whalen didn't have to, as Ritchie's going to have that puck for time in all eternity unless he loses it somewhere. And he gets his first as a pro. And I got a feeling a point a game in the WHL in 5 years. He kind of has that skill set that reminds me a bit of Zach Sekos. I think Nolan Ritchie's going to be a keeper.
I think so too, Tyson. I mean, he was great in the Idaho series, picked up his first pro point on Saturday on an assist. And he comes in here today with a statement and gets his first pro goal. Congratulations to Nolan Ritchie. I think that's just the first of many.
Grizzlies extended the lead with another power play goal. The Ritchie goal is a power play goal. Utah got back on the power play after Alex Crom got a 2-minute boarding minor. And late in the power play, the Rooster was all alone on the left side. He bounced off of McKee, and I think he intentionally bounced off of McKee because it was executed perfectly. Bounced off of McKee back to Martell, who got around McKee and found a good spot there on the left side, which seems to be his office lately. I mean, he scored some goals from the right side as well, but it seems like Martell prefers the left side. And he had a couple good looks before that, but Martell put it away for his 18th of the season as the Rooster now has a goal in 8 straight games. Kyle Mayhew gets his first professional point, and Dylan Fitz also got an assist as Martell's goal scored 1941 in. And, Guy, the Grizzlies worked on the power play just about the entire practice on Tuesday, and it seems like it's paid off here. It's not just one, but 2 power play units that ended up scoring in that first period, and it's hard to say which one's better than the other, as it seemed like that entire power play was that same 5-man unit, and it seemed like a couple guys got shuffled in and out. They're in the middle of that power play, but the Grizzlies looked like they worked the puck around pretty well. And they've got some good shooters, whether it's Nolan Ritchie or Jordan Martell. Cameron Wright and Taryn Pfizer can certainly be threats there. And you got a defenseman in Luke Martin who's certainly a threat to score from anywhere. And so it feels like that power play there in that first period, and some of it had to do with the practice they were able to get in yesterday working on it. Seems like the power play's back on track.
I agree, Tyson, and I think with all the weapons on that power play, I think they just needed a little bit of practice to get that thing sorted out. I think what we were seeing was just a lot of guys not really being on the same page, errant pucks, errant passes. Not today. It was apparent that the Grizzlies were working on that power play in practice. There's a lot of cohesion. Everybody seemed to be on the same page, and as a result of that, the Grizzlies are 2 for 2 on the power play.
Utah outshot Tulsa 18-5 in the first period. What really stood out to you?
What stood out to me is the Oilers coming into this game are 3rd in the league in shots for per game, 35.65 on the season, but they only got 5 in the first period. So the Grizzlies are doing a great job of limiting the Oilers' scoring chances. I mean, Minor really hasn't had to do a whole lot in this game. It's been a pretty quiet night for Tulsa's offense.
Both teams have one 5-on-5 goal. The difference in the game is the 2 power play tallies by Utah. They lead 3-1. I was kind of surprised at the shot count. In terms of scoring chances, 10 scoring chances for Utah and 4 for Tulsa. So even though Tulsa only had 5 shots, it seemed like they were able to get a good quality. I thought their goal was a pretty nice play there. McLaughlin getting a pass out in front from Calvin Watson, and it was a pretty looking shot by McLaughlin to get past Trent Minor.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice play for the Oilers. Just kind of work the puck below the goal line. And then the puck eventually finds Watson, and nobody's around him, so he has time to pick his head up and find a guy cutting into the crease. And it just so happens McLaughlin was moving in, and he just kind of threw it into the center, and it just hopped off his stick and went into the back of the net. So really a bang-bang play. Tough to diagnose if you're the Grizzlies defense, but it was just one of those ones where you give them a prime scoring chance, and they took it, and they scored.
It seems like Tristan Crozier, number 21, really stood out for Tulsa in that first period.
I agree. It seems like every time the Oilers were carrying the puck over the Grizzlies' blue line into the Grizzlies' zone, it was Crozier who had the puck on his stick. It seems like they're trying to work everything to him, and he just kind of carries it over the blue line and either look to his left and find a guy or look to his right and find a guy. So I think that's the guy to watch out for if you're the Grizzlies.
That's going to be interesting to see where the standings hold up after tonight. There's 2 other games in the league that the Grizzlies are watching for. And when we come back in 30 seconds, we'll give you some scores from around the league. It's Utah 3, Tulsa 1. Grizzlies with a 2-goal lead after 1 period on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Welcome back to Maverick Center. Utah leads 3-1. Well, the scoreboard doesn't exactly look like it's in the Grizzlies' favor here as we're doing some scoreboard watching. Early third period, Kansas City leads Allen 1-0. It really doesn't matter what Allen does. They're pretty much locked into the 2 seed. They've got 75 points and 3 games left. Kansas City and Wichita are tied for third with 70 points. So if you're a Grizzlies fan, you're rooting for Allen tonight to defeat Kansas City. The Hugo Wass scored 11:07 into the second period with Tommy Muck getting the assist. And right now, that's the only goal in the game. Early third period. In fact, there's 15:41 left in the third. Kansas City leads 1-0. Kansas City later on this week will have 2 games at home, but they're against the Cincinnati Cyclones. They're one of the best teams in the Western Conference. In fact, Cincinnati probably has the Central Division clinched. They're taking on Toledo and really a big-time battle there, and we saw Cincinnati a few weeks ago, and they're an outstanding team. But what's their motivation going to be for the final weekend of the season if they've got the 1 seed locked up in the Central Division? Could that be where Kansas City could sneak a win or 2 against a team that they probably wouldn't normally beat?
Yeah, we might see a situation where Cincinnati just kind of rests starters and just gears up for the playoffs and pretty much clinched everything that they can clinch, just kind of want to stay healthy for a playoff run. But the thing that stands out to me in that Allen-Kansas City game is it looks like Liam Finley's not on the ice for the Americans, but other than that, the other 3 quarters of the Fantastic Four are out there. You got Hargrove, Combs, and Crone. They're all out there for Allen. They're playing, but they haven't made an impact, which doesn't happen very often. So tonight we're rooting for the Allen Americans, but so far they've been held off the board.
After 1 period over at the Monument, Rapid City leads Idaho 1-0 as Zach Court scored 2:45 in. Colton Leader and John Martin with the assist. Both teams had 10 shots in the first period, but Rapid City has the only goal. Adam Schill is starting in net for Idaho. He has stopped 9 of 10. Adam Carlson gets the start for Rapid City. He has stopped all 10 he has seen so far. After 1 period, Rapid City leads Idaho 1-0, and the Grizzlies are rooting for Idaho. Because right now the Grizzlies are tied with Rapid City for 5th place in the Mountain Division, and obviously Idaho's got everything clinched. That's a big one for Idaho because if they win, they set the all-time wins record and also have the most standings points in any regular season in team history, in league history. So they're trying to set some league records tonight with a victory tonight, but Rapid City leads 1-0 after 20 minutes.
A lot of teams playing with desperation tonight, Tyson, and all these teams are getting it done so far. But, that includes the Grizzlies. And so for the Grizzlies, I think if they win out, I think they'll be okay, just based off of the fact that the Wichita Thunder only have 2 games remaining, and they are idle tonight. So if the Grizzlies win out, they would hold that tiebreaker with the Thunder, even if Wichita was to win out as well. So for the Grizzlies, you win out and you're in.
It'll be interesting to see how the next 20 minutes of play transpire here at Maverick Center because Tulsa is one of the bigger teams in the league, but they also have some guys who don't necessarily look like they move around all that well. I think Utah, in terms of foot speed, can have an advantage there.
I agree, Tyson. I think the shot count speaks volumes on that regard. I mean, the 18-5 in favor of the Grizzlies, I feel like for the most part in that first period, the Grizzlies were pushing the narrative offensively, and the Grizzlies did have a step faster than the Tulsa Oilers. So the Grizzlies seem to be a team playing with a lot of urgency, and they showed it in the first period.
I don't know if it matters, but it feels like the building is particularly warm.
It is
here tonight.
It is very hot in here. At some point, I think the ice might just start melting. It's that hot.
I'm going to keep my shirt on, though. I'm going to try to make sure I keep the shirt on throughout the rest of the game. But it is warm in the building.
It is warm, but I mean, hey, it was a warm day here today in the Salt Lake Valley, and that means that spring is here finally. And it also means that playoff hockey is right around the corner.
That's right, and the Grizzlies are hoping to clinch a playoff spot. Obviously, we're probably going to know no earlier than Friday or Saturday if the Grizzlies are going to be playoff bound, but they certainly look like they're on the right track with a 3-1 lead here after one period. When we come back in 2 minutes, we'll have second period action here from Maverick Center as it's the Grizzlies 3 and the Oilers 1 here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Utah leads 3-1 as we're about set for second period action. Scoring chances in the first period, Utah had 10, Tulsa with 4. Grizzlies won the face-off battle 13-9. Grizzlies had 3 power play shots, including 2 power play goals. Ritchie and Martell late in the first period had those goals. 1 shorthanded shot for the Grizzlies, as Tulsa did have 1 power play in the first period. Tulsa did not have a power play shot. Tulsa had 10 hits to the Grizzlies 6. The Oilers had 4 giveaways, Grizzlies with 2 through 1 period. The standings right now, or the scoreboard watching right now, really is not in the Grizzlies' favor. As after 1 period, Rapid City leads Idaho 1-0. And Kansas City still leads Allen 1-0. That game with 13-18 and counting left in the third. As we sit right now, Idaho's clinched the 1 spot. They've got 115 standings points. They're going for the single season wins record here tonight against Rapid City. Allen with 75 standings points. They have 3 games left in the regular season, with tonight being one of those 3. They pretty much are clinched the 2 seed. Kansas City and Wichita are tied for 3rd place with 70 standings points. Wichita only has 2 games left in the regular season as they face Allen twice, 1 at home and 1 on the road. Grizzlies and Rapid City are tied for 5th with 68 standings points, but the Grizzlies do have the tiebreaker against all the other teams that they are battling for a playoff spot with. The first tiebreaker, according to the ECHL website, is regulation wins. Second tiebreaker is regulation plus overtime wins. The third tiebreaker, if there's 2 or 3 teams they're tied after the regular season, you go to goal differential. So regulation wins, then regulation wins plus overtime wins. And then if they're tied in those two categories, then it's goal differential. And I think the other teams might have a slight edge on the Grizzlies there. But Utah does have the edge in terms of regulation wins against the other teams that are battling for a playoff spot, as Utah, if I remember right, has 27 regulation wins this season. Rapid City, Kansas City each have 26. Wichita's got 23 regulation wins. Utah will be skating from left to right as we see it from high top section 114. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Tulsa will be skating from our right to our left. As starting the second period, we'll have the Rooster Jordan Martell, and now has a goal in 8 straight games. Cameron Wright, who had the double doink in the first period, he hit both posts and then scored as it hit both posts and kind of just laid in the crease. And Cameron Wright is one of those guys, he always seems to be in the right place at the right time, pun not intended, as he just seems to be somebody that just works hard to get in those scoring areas. And that's a big reason as to why he is tied for the club lead with 25 goals this year. Betts will take the face-off, his first game back after spending the majority of the season with the AHL's Belleville Senators. In fact, Betts played the first weekend of the season, which feels like it was about 5 years ago, and then spent 40 games with Belleville. Grizzlies win the draw as Mayhew gets over to Tho. That's the starting defensive pairing in the second period, over to Cameron Wright, who dumps in. It's the same 5 that started the game for the Grizzlies. Justin Bean goes down and a hit from Kyle Betts. Puck rolls towards Manila, and we get a penalty as Kyle Betts is going to get 2 minutes for hooking, as he's going to go to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. Betts can't believe it, but he's going to the box. And so Tulsa will get their second power play of the contest. Oilers this season have a power play percentage of 15.7%. Grizzlies penalty kill is 79.1%. Kyle Betts gets 2 minutes for hooking, 11 seconds into the second period. Draw won by Tulsa as they'll feed it up top. Suprika throws it back to the right side. Now Suprika gets it back. He'll glide to Matsushima. Left side, he throws it to the near goal line. Sheriff with a sharp angled shot, saved by Minor. Now Matsushima gets it back. He'll throw it to Suprika. Will skeet towards his right. Now he'll drive it back to Matsushima. He'll take a lefty shot and it goes wide. Jackson Leaf gets it off the boards as he'll skeet towards his left. Now he'll get to Suprika. Will skeet towards his left. He'll take a lefty shot and it's blocked by Jamison. As Leaf battles with Penner. Penner moves ahead, but it goes back to Matsushima. He'll throw it back up top for Sheriff. Back to Matsushima at the near goal line. He skeets around Tulsa's net. He'll drive it over to Leaf. Leaf gets it back to Matsushima. He throws it to his left for Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi will glide towards his right. One-timer goes wide off the stick of Leaf. It's Bertuzzi over to Sheriff, back behind the net. He'll throw it to Leaf, but it's wide of him. Suprika will skeet towards the right point to keep it in. He'll throw it across. It taps off the near boards. Tyler Penner gets it, and he'll clear it out. Puck glides towards Manila. We'll throw it to Jackson Leaf as the Grizzlies make a line change. As Oilers cross center ice, Dante Sheriff with good speed. He gets around Cutler. Sheriff will tap it off the near boards for Suprika, who will skeet towards his right. Now drive it to his left for Matsushima, who glides it back up top for Suprika, who feeds it to his right. As the Oilers, Jackson Leaf, lefty shot, and it's blocked by his own guy, Sheriff, as Kyle Mayhew clears it out, but just to center ice. Tulsa skeets back into the zone as Tristan Crozier gets held up. Now Sheriff throws it back to the near corner. This goes back over towards Sheriff. Over in the corner, Crozier gets pushed as Tho gets it, trying to clear it out, but it bounced off a Crozier skate and flies towards the near corner again. Pfizer gathers it as he wins a one-on-one battle and he clears it out. 15 seconds left in the power play as Tulsa skates around Daniel Manila's net. Oilers skating from right to left in the second period as he glided towards Boudreau, who fanned on a pass. Messner over the head to right. Cameron Wright's got a breakaway. He'll skeet down the middle, backhand shot and goes wide. Betts is out of the box as we're back to full strength. It's the Utah disaster cleanup. Successful penalty kill. Oilers skate in, right side, shots blocked by Shearer. Puck rolls to Kyle Betts, back towards Shearer as he bounces Blake McLaughlin along the boards. McLaughlin has Tulsa's goal. He couldn't reach it from the far corners. It goes back over. Carl Boudreau with a left wing shot that goes wide as the puck goes back over towards Tag Bertuzzi. They'll feed it up top to the right side now across to Boudreau. He'll take a lefty shot, and it bounces off a Messner stick and flies out of play off the protective netting. With 17:20 left in the second. Tulsa has the only shot taken here officially in the second period, but Cameron Wright had a breakaway And it looked like he missed the net just wide. As Wright didn't have a whole lot of time as he had an Oiler chasing after him. I think that was Calvin Watson. But Wright just ended up missing wide. Draws game in the near side. Nolan Ritchie will take it against Tag Bertuzzi, who started the season with the Norfolk Admirals, and he was acquired in a trade for Jimmy Soper in late January. Draw one by the Oilers as McLaughlin shot, and it's blocked. Make that Connor McEachern, number 77. It goes back to Matsushima, right side. He'll take a lefty shot on it, tapped off the stick of Aaron Tho and flies out of play as we get another whistle with 17:09 left in the second. We know there's a lot of sports and entertainment options out there. We appreciate you choosing the Grizzlies tonight. Kind of a fun day in the world of sports here locally. Just kind of dreaming about going to Major League Baseball games here and not have to drive 8 hours to Denver or 10 hours to Phoenix. It'd be certainly a lot of fun if Utah can get a big league team. And Ryan Smith, on the other hand, is trying to find an NHL team. He's been talking with Gary Bettman. Looks like the Millers are looking for the baseball franchise. Right wing shot saved by Minor. That was taken by Calvin Watson after Tulsa won the faceoff. As McLaughlin double team in the corner, gets taken away by the Rooster. Martell over to Dylan Fitz, who gets neutralized. He crossed the red line, and he'll drive it around the boards. As Nolan Ritchie gets cut off by Watson, who looks like he's got good speed. Watson turns it over. Now it goes back to Ritchie. Left wing shot. And it goes just wide as I think he got a piece of Tristan Crozier. It's McEachern. We'll throw it towards the corner. McEachern, number 77. It goes back to center ice. Ritchie gets it. Nolan Ritchie has good speed, and it looks like he's got a similar skill set to Zach Sekos, who's out with an injury. Ritchie wearing number 11. He wore number 61 last week. We'll drop it off for Mayhew. Mayhew got his first pro point with an assist in the first period. He'll skate down the middle. Now he'll veer off to the left. Tulsa pokes it back to center ice. As Semick over towards Jamison, who dumps it in. Manella behind his net. We'll give it towards McEachern, who's got no points in 7 games this season. It's McEachern's 8th game of the year. As puck over in the near corner. Tulsa moves ahead. Picked off by Penner. Action in the Tulsa zone. Semick in the right point. Over to Penner. Back to Semick. He'll fire towards the net. It's bounced off of Manella. He'll hold on. There's a big-time battle out in front of the net by McEachern and Keaton Jamison. Kyle Pouncey over there. One thing's different about Kyle Pouncey tonight. He's got an A on his sweater. The captain, Connor McDonald, does a scratch, and it looks like the letter, it's not a C, but it's an A on Kyle Pouncey's sweater. The 3 assistant captains, or alternate captains, Kyle Pouncey, Dylan Fitz, and James Shearer. For Tulsa, Mike McKee's their captain wearing the C. Alex Crom and Jackson Leaf are the alternates. Draws in the left circle of Tulsa's zone. 15:51 left in the second period. Utah leads 3-1. No one scored here so far in the second period. As draw goes towards the corner, it lifts high into the air. It bounces in the near circle. As Cutler throws it across to Pfizer. Pfizer on the right side, trying to chip it around. It's picked off by Tulsa. Will tap it off the glass. It flips high into the air. Shearer gets hit along the near boards. Now Shearer gets pushed by Matsushima. Oilers get the puck in their own end as Mike McKee will tap it ahead. It rolls towards the Grizzlies bench. Cutler gets it. He'll skate in the zone as he gets around Matsushima in the corner. Cutler centers the Pfizer, swings and misses. Ethan Stewart gets hit by his own guy. He gets back to his feet. Luke Martin over to Shearer on the right side. Back to Martin, but the puck exits the zone. Grizzlies reset. Martin will skate back into Grizzlies territories. They'll feed it across to Shearer. And Shearer will glide it to center ice for Nolan Ritchie. Will skate towards his right. He'll drop it off for Martin, who crosses center ice. Now he crosses the blue line, skates down the middle. He gets hit in the back, no call. As the Grizzlies over on the left side. Cutler will skate towards his right. He'll chip it over towards Pfizer. Pfizer around the net. He's now to the left side. Pfizer skates towards his right. Now over to Cutler. One-timer, saved by Manella. Rebound goes towards the near boards as James Shearer gets to Cutler. He'll take a lefty shot. And it's blocked out in front by Justin Bean. Martin over towards Ritchie along the far corner. He gets held up by Matsushima. Now Cutler gets dragged as Ritchie throws up top for Martin, who keeps the line. He'll chip it back to the corner for Cutler, who literally kicks over towards Ethan Stewart. He'll bounce to Luke Martin. Back to Cutler, who loses it. As the Oilers will clear it out. No icing as both teams will make a line change. Minor moves ahead to Tho, slides it across to Betts. Betts over to the right side, gets knocked down by Suprika. And the Oilers come away with the puck. Jackson Leaf gets it taken away by Cameron Wright, who seems to have an extra gear tonight. Right over towards Mayhew, back to Tho. As Tho will get out to neutralize, he'll fire a backhand pass over to Wright. Wright gets around Boudreau. He'll skate towards the far goal line. Try to chip it across to Martell out in front of the net. And the pass goes wide as Tulsa lifts it out to center ice. Mayhew gets it back as they'll throw it across to Tho. Tho will move it to Martell at center ice. He gets it tape to tape. Martell skates towards the left circle. Take a righty shot that goes wide. Puck glides along the near boards and goes deep into the Grizzlies zone as the puck wobbles towards the Grizzlies goal line. Kyle Mayhew gets it and they'll outlet it out to neutralize for Wright. Wright gets to center ice. He'll chip it off the skate of Crozier. Now it goes to Tulsa. They skate in from the right side. Oilers slide it across to McLaughlin. He'll drop it off for Sapriku. Fires it across as McEachern. Over to the right wing. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked. As it got blocked by Cameron Wright. Oilers around the net. They try to chip it out in front. Nobody home. Tho didn't have a stick, so he couldn't get the puck. Oilers trying to chip it towards Crozier out in the slot. Puck bounced off a stick. As Tho still playing without a stick, there's now another stick laying in the Grizzlies zone. As Oilers will skate back towards their zone. As Martell tried to take it away. Watson poked it away from him. As McLaughlin with a backhand pass out to center ice. Lifted to Watson. Watson gains the line. He'll skate towards the right circle. Chip it off the end boards. Now he'll fire a sharp angled shot. Hits the side of the net. Tulsa skates in. Shot saved by Minor. And Trent holds on. That last shot was taken by Tag Bertuzzi, number 72. 12:44 is left in the second period. No one has scored here in the middle frame as Utah still leads 3-1. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
12:44 left in the second period. Utah leads 3-1. Grizz scored first as Cameron Wright was the Optum first goal of the game, score 7:04 in. Blake McLaughlin tied it up for Tulsa, 13:29 in. Then the Grizzlies had two power play goals as Nolan Ritchie scored 14:55 in. It was his first as a pro. And Jordan Martell got his 18th of the season. He now has a goal in 8 straight games. He scored 19:41 into the first. As Tulsa wins the draw, they'll glide it along the near boards, goes out to center ice. Tyler Penner, the Iron Man, chases after as McEachern throws to center ice. It's picked off by Semick, who flips it high into the air as it hits off the protective netting. As it looks like the draw is going to come back to center ice. Semick, the Arizona State product, actually appeared in games for the Sun Devils this season. He was a teammate at ASU with Johnny Walker for a few years. Walker out of the Grizzlies lineup. Keaton Jamison will take the draw. Jamison's been an unsung hero for the Grizzlies all year as he wins the faceoff as it goes to Semick back in the Grizzlies zone to throw a right wing pass to Jamison, who crosses center ice. Jamison skates down the middle. Now he veers off to the left. Jamison backhand shot and it goes wide. Manella might have gotten a piece of it as Penner is hanging on the crossbar. Shot goes wide from the right point by Semick as Penner, kind of like he was at a zoo there. Penner gets pushed in the far corner as he skates around Tulsa's net. As Penner over towards Semick. Semick gets it. He gets blasted by McEachern. As Semick will throw off of Messner. Now goes to Tulsa's. Bertuzzi overskates it. Messner gets pushed along the near boards at neutral ice. He gets held up by Matsushima. As the Oilers skating from right to left will chip it ahead as they're trying to reach it towards Calvin Watson. He couldn't get there as Andrew Jarvis will come off after a productive shift as Kyle Betts throws to Semick. Now ahead to Penner across the center ice. Left wing pass to Fitz, who will skate towards the left circle. Now he feeds across to Betts, but bounces off the back of the leg of Matsushima. Oilers' Alex Gilmore skates towards the left circle. Take a lefty shot. Saved by Minor. As Gilmore just found himself in the right place at the right time as he raced towards the left circle and fired a pretty good-looking lefty shot, but Minor made the save. With 11:22 left in the second. Gilmore created that chance by bouncing it off of Luke Martin. Ahead towards the Grizzlies zone, chased after it. Had himself a pretty good look. Gilmore was one of Tulsa's best forwards last season, and he certainly looked good against Utah, in particular here at Maverick Center. Betts will take the draw against Gilmore. Alex Gilmore, 6'5", 220 pounds, the Toronto native. Betts take the draw, but it's won by Tulsa. As Carl Boudrea, left side shot, saved by Minor. Rebound, Shearer throws it towards the end boards. As Tulsa gets held up along the near wall, as Gilmore slides up top for Saprika. Left wing will take a lefty shot that goes wide. As Gilmore around the net gets to Crom. Will feed it up top for Saprika. It will dish it across. Now back to Ethan Stewart in the slot. He fans on it initially. Now he throws to the far corner. Now Stewart, right wing shot, saved by Minor. Rebound out in front. Gilmore shot, and it's blocked by Martin. As Utah tapping off the near glass, Saprika couldn't keep it in. As Betts moves it ahead, Pouncey chasing after it. Pouncey's acting as a forward this week, and Pouncey now wearing an A on his sweater as an alternate captain. As blue line to blue line pass, Crom got a piece of it. Oh, the linesman said he didn't. Icing is on the Oilers with 10:37 left in the second. As the draw is going to be back towards Daniel Manella. Utah 22 shots to Tulsa's 13. So the Oilers have an edge on the shot count, 8-4 in the second period. Ritchie will take the draw for Utah. He scored his first professional goal, 14:55 into the first period. That gave Utah a 2-1 lead. Tulsa wins the draw. They lift it out to center ice. It's taken by Kyle Mayhew, who slides it across to Pfizer. Gets hit down the middle by Boudrea. Now McLaughlin will throw it to his left as Watson skates in. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide as he skated along the near side and had a good look. Now Boudrea out of the right point will bounce it off the Grizzly, and it goes back to neutral ice as Tulsa will tag up as Boudrea will glide it to his right for Tristan Crozier. Now back to Boudrea. Will throw it to his left, and it looks like Watson couldn't reach it as though skates back towards his own corner. Now chipping it up top for Crozier, who picks it off. Left wing shot, and it's blocked as Pfizer clears it out to center. Tulsa gets it back as Watson skates towards his right. Pass ahead's picked off by Cameron Wright. Wright skates down the middle. He'll take a righty shot on. It bounces off the stick of Mike McKeon and flies out of play as the whistle blows. 9:42 left here in the second period as we're past the halfway point of the 60-minute contest. Some other scores from the Mountain Division that involve the playoff picture. Kansas City still leads Allen 1-0 with 3 minutes left in the third period. Rapid City still leads Idaho 1-0. That game with 13 minutes left in the second. So scoreboard watching isn't exactly going the Grizzlies' way, as Utah could use an Allen victory over Kansas City, and they also need Idaho to beat Rapid City. Draw won by the Grizzlies as Wright throws it towards Martin. It's picked off by Matsushima, who anticipated it well. Matsushima, right wing over to Sheriff, who skates down the middle. Back to Matsushima, shot, and it goes off the side of the net. Martin skates around his net, as he'll toss it ahead for Martel. The Rooster has to go past him as Sheriff will throw it towards Matsushima, who wasn't looking. As Shearer moves it ahead to Betts, who's got good speed. Betts gets to the Tulsa blue line, then he gets hit by Sheriff. Now Matsushima will glide it across. Bertuzzi crosses center ice. He gets around Cameron Wright. Bertuzzi trying to get around the Rooster, but Martel took it away. So move it ahead to Betts, who crosses center ice. Betts gets tripped up by the center ice logo. Luke Martin gets taken away by Sheriff. 3-on-2. Sheriff skates towards the left side, drops off for Bertuzzi. I threw it behind his back for Matsushima, and the pass goes wide to Martel. One too many passes for the Oilers. Now 3-on-3. Betts over to Wright, who skates towards the left side, gets back poke checked from behind as Matsushima clears it out. Gilmore skates towards the left circle, take a shot. Saved by Minor in the butterfly position as Gilmore tried to go 5-hole on Minor. It's still 3-1 Grizzlies, but Tulsa had what looked like a 3-on-1, and they just made one too many passes out in front of the net, and the second pass just went wide of the mark. It looked like Gilmore thought he had 5-hole on Minor, but Trent closed the door quickly. 8:44 left in the second. It's still 3-1 Utah. It's a draw won by Tulsa. They'll take a left wing shot, and it's blocked by the stick of Semick, and it goes to Penner. Will carry it out to neutralize. Hot pass connects. Messner gets around a skater. Now Messner with a lefty shot, and it goes wide as he had a Tulsa player hanging from his left shoulder. Gilmore across the center ice. Now he steps over the blue line. He gets around Semick. Gilmore glides it back towards Leaf, whose father played for the Oilers. Or actually played for Fort Wayne. Jackson Leaf won a Kelly Cup with Fort Wayne 2 years ago. His father, Ron, played for Fort Wayne. As Penner lifts it out to center ice, it goes back to Suprika, who feeds it across. Now the Oilers will move it ahead. So Michael Farron, who gains center ice. Farron, number 27, trying to drop it off for Gilmore. Passes wide as Farron collided with Dylan Fitz. The puck goes back over to Semick. Moves ahead to Gilmore, who taps Tyler Penner off the glass. Now goes to Saprika. Back to Boudreau. Right wing pass. The Oilers re-enter. As Farron gets held up on the right point, puck goes back to Boudreau at neutral ice. They'll throw it over to Saprika. Back to Boudreau. Carl's his first name, number 14. He'll slide it to Saprika. Back to Boudreau, who skates down the middle. He crosses center ice. Boudreau gains the line. They'll tap it off the stick of Corey Thomas, who gets it ahead. Ritchie couldn't reach it. Puck goes back over to Watson, who crosses center ice. He'll chip it across to Boudreau. He wears number 16. Boudreau over to the left side for Crozier. Back to Boudreau. Now to McKee. They'll feed it to the far circle as Tulsa is in the attack zone. Oilers will skate towards their left. Now McKee gets it. He skates around Utah's net. Chips it out in front. McLaughlin in the left circle. Couldn't get a shot off as Ritchie was hanging nearby. As the Oilers throw up behind the net. As Tulsa chips it off of Semick as it goes to the crease. Thomas will gather it, throw it to Cutler, clears it out. Grizzlies make a line change as Justin Bean chases after it. Bean wearing number 22. Left wing pass off the boards. Did Watson get a piece of it? The linesman said yes. As Mayhew over towards Betts. Now Tho will drag it ahead to right. It will flip it across to Pfizer. It goes over his stick and glides towards Manella as Tulsa gathers it in the Tulsa zone. Wright takes it away. He tried to chip it out in front, and the pass goes wide. Mayhew, left wing, shot and a score! Save that puck, Mason Whalen, as Kyle Mayhew gets his first as a pro, and Utah's extended the lead. It's now a 4-1 game. Boy, Mayhew actually was just kind of going back and forth, and then Mayhew just over in the left circle, and he just fired away. And it got past Daniel Manella, a very crafty-looking shot. We had noticed in the first week of action where Kyle Mayhew was seeing ice time at critical moments. And Kyle Mayhew gets his first as a pro as he scored from the left wing with Kyle Betts and Cameron Wright getting the assist. The time of Mayhew's goal, 13:28 into the second period. So for the second time tonight, a Grizzly picks up his first professional goal. Action deep in the Oilers zone as Tulsa skates from right to left here in the second period. As the Oilers will cross center ice. Jarvis dumps it in. He gets blasted by Kyle Betts. Miner behind his net gets over to Luke Martin. Martin over to Cameron Wright. He gets around Matsushima. He'll feed it to his right for Martel. Slides it ahead to Betts. Betts skates towards the right circle and stops. He'll fire it across off the far wing boards as Shearer gets to Martel. Martel over to Shearer. He'll take a lefty shot and hits the post. Bounces off from Manila and goes past the goal line. Grizzlies score! Grizzlies score to make it 5-1 with 5:55 left in the second period. As James Shearer gets his sixth of the year. As puck bounced off the post, then bounced off of Manila and crossed the goal line before Manila could recover. So Grizzlies score 2 goals within the span of a minute as Kyle Mayfield high-fiving everybody in section 114. As James Shearer will get his sixth of the year as he scored from the left side. And it was about the same spot where Mayhew scored. Alex Crom is begging one of the referees. There's 2 referees tonight to look at it on video replay. And it looks like they might look at it on video replay on the tablet to check to see if the puck crossed the goal line. So right now it's 5-1 Grizzlies, but it looks like they're going to check to see if the puck crossed the goal line before Manella was able to recover. So Utah really rolling offensively. 3 goals in the first period, 2 of them on the power play. Kyle Mayhew found the back of the net for the first time as a pro, 13:28 in, with Wright and Betts getting the assists, and James Shearer is hoping it's a 5-1 game with 5:55 left in the second. If Shearer does score, the assist will go to Martel and Betts. So Betts would have 2 second-period assists. And for the Rooster, Jordan Martel, he would have a multiple-point game with 1 goal and 1 assist. So if the goal does count, it'd be Jordan Martel's 12th multiple-point game this season. Cameron Wright leads the way with 13 multiple-point games. The Wright with that second-period assist now has 14 multiple-point games, as Wright has 1 goal and 1 assist, regardless of whether this 5th goal counts, as Wright had an assist on the Kyle Mayhew goal. The 2 referees are looking it over, Sam Heideman and Brendan Schreider. So they're looking it over with 5:55 left in the second. And really one of the things the Grizzlies need come playoff times, they need scoring from their blue line. With the addition of Luke Martin, they certainly get a bona fide top scoring defenseman in this league. And you get Kyle Mayhew, who's played in some critical situations. And it looks like Ryan Kanasowicz has already built a lot of confidence in him. And James Scher has been a consistent force. At the Grizzlies Booster Club party on Monday, James Scher won the Unsung Hero Award as they took a vote from around the room. And there was a lot of people there at the Booster Club party. And if I had to vote, and I actually did have a vote, I voted for James Scher as the unsung hero. And that's what the vote was. And he ended up winning the award. Although there's been a lot of unsung heroes. I mean, you can look at Keaton Jamison, the contributions he has made, and in particular over the last couple months, he's certainly been a consistent force for the Grizzlies. And there's a lot of guys who have really contributed as they're taking a good long look at this one to find out if the puck crossed the goal line or not. If the goal does count, it's 5-1 Grizzlies. If it doesn't count, it will remain 4-1. Some other action in the Mountain Division. Kansas City defeated Allen 2-0. So Kansas City takes third place by themselves with 72 standings points. The referees will come out of the scores table, and the determination is a good goal. James Scher gets his 6th of the year, and Utah leads 5-1. Referee Brendan Schreider is telling Alex Crom what he saw. Crom just kind of nods his head as the referee tells Crom that the puck crossed the goal line. They show a replay of it. Boy, it was close. They show a replay. It was very close. Rob Murray is yelling at Sam Heidemann saying, look at the video replay, didn't cross the goal line. I think that Rob Murray is saying that the entire puck did not cross the goal line. Some of it did. It might be one of those things where half the puck crossed the goal line and half of it didn't. But it's good enough to call it a goal. Rob Murray can't believe it as he argues his case. And the Oilers are probably thinking to themselves, it's kind of been the type of breaks we've been getting all season. As the Oilers are a pretty decent team. They just haven't caught many breaks this year. It's been a tough year for Tulsa, who's in last place in the Mountain Division. As Grizzlies have their own zone skating from left to right. Jacob Semick will move it ahead. Semick looking for his first pro goals. Fitz chases after it as Tulsa throws it off of Penner, who collides with Gilmore as the puck goes to the left side as Dylan Fitz will throw it around. Penner behind the net as he'll skate towards the left corner. He'll chip it up top for Thomas. One-timer, saved by Manila. Puck still in play as it bounced off the end glass. As Penner gets hit, Fitz takes over the place. He tries to get around Jarvis. As Jarvis playing physical, Penner glides up top for Semick. Now to Fitz, who will feed it across to Thomas. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked. Might have been hit his own guy. Now Fitz with a blast. Saved by Manila. It looks like Daniel Manila's been pulled from the game. Riley Morris is now in net as he replaces Daniel Manila. Riley Morris is in net. He makes a stop. He's got a record of 3-9-1 with an .886 save percentage. We'll come back in 30 seconds as Utah leads 5-1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Utah leads 5-1. Looks like after Utah's 5th goal, Daniel Manila is pulled in favor of Riley Morris, who's now in net for the Tulsa Oilers. Grizzlies have taken 26 shots. The Oilers have taken 14. As a draw won by the Grizzlies, shot saved by Morris, who makes his second stop after replacing Daniel Manila. As McLaughlin will tap it off the near glass, it goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. Aaron Thull will skate around his net. He'll move it ahead. It goes to neutralize. Tulsa gets it back. Oilers in the white jerseys tonight, lifted off the end boards deep in the Grizzlies zone. As Miner will nudge it to the far side for Cutler, who throws it between his legs for Tho. Right wing pass to Pfizer, steps over the blue line. Pfizer skates towards the corner as he gets held up by Suprika. As 2-on-2 battle, Pfizer gets it, chips out front to Cutler, swings and misses. Now Cutler gets it back, left wing shot. Saved by Morris. And Riley Morris, wearing number 1, holds on. 4:35 left in the second. As both teams make a line change here in the first of a 3-game set. Don't forget to get your tickets for the final AFCU Friday of the regular season. And with AFCU Fridays, tickets start just $8 when you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. And Saturday is going to be the regular season finale. It's going to be Star Wars night and Fan Appreciation night, all wrapped up into one. Grizzlies win the draw. Martell skates around the net. He's already got a goal tonight. He has a goal in 8 straight games. And so fired off an Oiler. The puck goes out to center ice. Luke Martin charges ahead, throws to Betts, who has an assist on each of Utah's 2 second period goals. Puck goes to Mike McKee, who skates around Tulsa's net. McKee, a longtime Oiler. He'll feed it back to the near side as Cameron Wright gets it. Wright battles with Justin Bean, who takes it away. As he'll throw it towards Tad Bertuzzi, who skates around Tulsa's net. He'll chip it to the far side. Sheriff couldn't handle it. Now the Grizzlies look to center it. A bounce off for Bertuzzi's stick and glides into the Grizzlies zone. As Wright over towards Martin, who will chip it over Sheriff's stick. Now Sheriff gets it at center ice. And puck glides towards the Grizzlies bench. Sheriff gets it back. He'll nudge it across to Mike McKee. Will feed it to the Utah blue line. Pass connects. Sheriff skates down the middle. Backhand shot. He couldn't get the shot off as he lost the puck. As it glides towards the left point. As McEachern takes a left point shot. Miner makes a glove save. We get a whistle and we get a penalty. It's going to be on the Grizzlies. Looks like Luke Martin's going to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. There's 3:39 left in the second. Utah leads 5-1. They have outshot the Oilers 28-15. During the second intermission, we'll talk with Guy Chiarenza and get his thoughts on things. I'm thinking about Friday night, possibly giving Guy Chiarenza play-by-play for the second period. Guy is doing play-by-plays. He's working on that demo tape as he is currently a senior at the University of Utah, and he's done an outstanding job this season working here on press row. As Tulsa wins the draw, Boudreau over to the left point. We'll throw it towards the corner. They look to center it. Pass connects. Watson shot saved by Miner. Now goes back to the high slot. Boudreau will get to the left point. And he'll throw it back to Crozier. Now Crozier gets it back to the left side. And so he'll throw it to the near goal line. Tulsa, Watson will throw it up top for Boudreau. And he'll glide it across. Now back to Boudreau. As he's in the high slot, he'll feed it to the left side for Watson. Watson throws to the near goal line for Crozier. It comes across, shot saved by Miner. Rebound goes to Jamison, who tried to clear it out, and he couldn't. Now the puck goes back over to Penner, over to Scheer, who slices it towards Riley Morris. It bounced off the end boards as both teams make a line change. 2:50 and counting left in the second, 1:10 left in Tulsa's power play. As Oilers cross center ice, Suprika will skate towards his left as he gets around Cutler. Over to McLaughlin, who's got Tulsa's lone goal tonight. He'll get to Bertuzzi, who skates towards his left. Now back up top for Suprika, feeds it over to the right side. As Bertuzzi over to Suprika. He'll glide it across, but fanned on it. Cutler gets it. Cutler moves ahead to Pfizer. Pfizer skates towards the left side. As he'll get around an Oiler. He loses the puck. Pfizer now behind the net. As he'll chip it over to his right for Tho. Tho gets hit pretty hard, and Tho gets divorced in the puck as it goes out to neutralize. Kyle Mayhew gets it back as he'll slice it ahead to Pfizer. Pfizer gets around 2 Oilers. Now he gets held up at center ice by Jackson Leaf. Leaf moves to his left as it goes to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi over to Sheriff, back to Bertuzzi along the near goal line. He'll take a sharp angled shot and hits the side of the net. As Matsushima gets it to the left side to move it up top for Suprika. Back to Matsushima, who glides it across. As Jackson Leaf with an A on his sweater will throw it to the far goal line. Tulsa chips it across to Matsushima. Left wing shot. Saved by Miner. And he will hold on as it bounced off his shoulder and rolled towards the front of the crease. And he was able to dive and cover up with 1:49 left in the second. Good passing by the Oilers on their power play. They're 15.7% this season, but they certainly have some guys that can work the puck around. And Matsushima's had a breakout season in his second year in an Oiler uniform. He's got 28 goals and 18 assists. We saw Matsushima at the league all-star game. 10 seconds left in the power play. Draw one by the Oilers as Bean will throw it to the right side. Now back to Bean. One-timer and it goes wide. Bean a right shot as Gilmore throws it around the net for Crom. Out of the box is Luke Martin. Right point shot goes wide by Tulsa as Martin gets the puck fresh out of the box. It's a Utah disaster cleanup, successful penalty kill. Ed to Betts, who's got good speed. He gets it poked away by Beam. Now bounces off of Martin and goes to center ice as Tulsa regathers it. They cross center, and Alex Crom chips it in. Crom's got good speed as he hits Semick along the end boards. Now Betts skates over there. 2-on-2 battle as Ethan Stewart pushes Kyle Betts. Tulsa glides it towards the left point as McEachern throws it across. Lefty shot's blocked. It's a shot was taken from the right point. Now it goes over to McEachern. They will glide it around. Alex Gilmore around the net. Gilmore now to the right side. We'll throw it up top. Right point, lefty shot. Saved by Minor. That shot was taken by Andrew Jarvis, who's still looking for his first goal of the season. Trent Minor has looked sharp as he has stopped 17 of 18. And really the only goal scored by Tulsa was on a really nice play on a centering feed out in front from Calvin Watson to Blake McLaughlin. McLaughlin got his 12th goal of the season. Draws give me in the far circle. 58 seconds left in the second period. Draw one by the Oilers as they'll skate over. Right point shot saved by Minor. As the Oilers now around the net. McLaughlin battling with Kyle Mayhew as it goes towards Crozier. He couldn't handle it. Now the Grizzlies get it to Dylan Fitz on the far side. He'll nudge it to center ice for Pouncey, who gets hit, but he crosses center ice and dumps it in as Pouncey got hit by Justin Beam. As Grizzlies get up far goal line, they're deep in the offensive zone as Fitz will skate back towards the point. He'll fire it across off the boards for Tho. Will glide it around the net. Messner skates after it, makes his first name as Tulsa lifts it into the air. He goes over the head of Tho, who chases after it. Kind of casually goes over it in the near corner. He gets it. As Tho will drop it off from Mayhew, skates towards the corner. Now glided ahead to Martel. The Rooster moves ahead to Jameson. It's picked off by McKee. He will cross center ice and he'll tap it in. Watson trying to locate it on the near boards in the Grizzlies zone. Now Tulsa centers it. They'll drop it off righty. Shot goes wide. And that was right at the buzzer by Justin Bean. And it would have counted had it crossed the goal line as the horn sounded once it bounced off the end boards. Well, that'll do it for 2 periods of play. As the Grizzlies got goals from defensemen from the left side as Kyle Mayhew and James Shearer each found the back of the net. And for Mayhew, it's his first professional goal. He's the second Grizzlies tonight to score his first professional goal. As in the first period, Nolan Ritchie got his first as a pro. And then James Shearer got his 6th of the year. The time of that goal was 14:05 into the second period. So the Grizzlies scored 2 goals within the span of 37 seconds. First, it was Mayhew, and then Shearer after that, both guys scoring from the left wing. When we come back to the Grizzlies intermission report, we'll talk with Guy Chiarenza and get his thoughts on what he has seen through the first 2 periods. And we'll also go over some scores from around the league. Once again, after 2 periods, it's the Grizzlies 5 and the Oilers 1 here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, Surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them, like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. Utah leads Tulsa 5-1. Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Grizzlies scored first tonight. Cameron Wright is the opt-in. First goal of the game scored. It was unassisted, 7:04 into the first as he hit both posts and then got a rebound off the second post that he hit and then got a pass Daniel Manella. And so he made it 1-0. Right now leads. He's now tied with Taryn Pfizer for the club lead with 25 goals this season. Tulsa's lone goal tonight was scored by Blake McLaughlin, 13:29 into the contest, with Calvin Watson and Tristan Crozier getting the assists. Utah got 2 power play goals late in the first period. Nolan Ritchie got his first professional goal, 14:55 into the contest. Luke Martin and Brandon Cutler with the assists. And then with 19 seconds left in the first period, the Rooster picked up a goal in his 8th straight game. That's right. The Roosters got a goal in 8 straight games. Now has 18 goals this season, which is 3rd on the club. Kyle Mayhew and Dylan Fitz with the assist. So for Mayhew, that was his first professional point. Utah led 3-1 after one period. The Grizz outshot the Oilers 18-5 in the first period. It stayed a 3-1 game for the majority of the second period, and then Kyle Mayhew on kind of a scramble play just kind of went from stick to stick, and then it ended up with Mayhew in the left side, and he fired a blast past Daniel Manella, and they saved the puck as it's his first as a pro. Mayhew's not necessarily a guy that scored a ton of goals at Denver, but he does look like he's got some scoring ability. In fact, at Denver this season in 40 games, he just had 2 goals. In 5 seasons at Denver, he had 6 goals. I expect him, like a lot of defensemen, that either play in junior leagues or in college, I expect him to score more goals as a pro than he did in college, and you see it often. I mean, Taylor Richard wasn't necessarily a goal scorer at Miami of Ohio, but then in the pros, he really picked it up. So I expect Kyle Mayhew to be quite the contributor. He's not a very big guy, listed at 5'8", 160 pounds. Looks like he's going to be a force for the Grizzlies down the stretch. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist tonight, his first multiple-point game as a pro. And the Grizzlies, 30, they tell you not to do math on the air. I think it was 37 seconds after Mayhew's goal. James Shearer found the back of the net as he just fired away from a very similar spot on the ice that Mayhew scored. And it looked like he hit the post and bounced off of Manella. And boy, it looked like it was very close. As it looked like it bounced off of Manella. They showed the replay after they counted the goal. The puck sort of crossed the goal line. It looked like sort of didn't. Rob Murray, the Tulsa coach, looked like he was pretty upset. Unfortunately, from the Oilers fans' perspective, that's been kind of the breaks they've been getting all year. And the goal counted and made it a 5-1 game.
Well, for the Grizzlies, we'll take it, right? A goal's a goal. I think that puck did cross the goal line. I think there was a little bit of white, but it was very, very close. And the desperation play by Manella just wasn't able to get it before it crossed the goal line, and as a result of that, his night was over. He was replaced by Riley Morris. Yeah, Morris played the rest of the first period. It was the last 5:55 of the second, and Morris stopped all 3 shots that he saw. Tulsa actually outshot Utah 13-10 in the second period. They had a power play late in the second, and I thought they moved the puck around pretty well. They just couldn't find one past Trent Miner as Utah leads 5-1. But what have you noticed through the first 40 minutes of play?
Well, I noticed that, as you mentioned with the shot department, it seems like play was a little bit more even. We had chances on both sides of the ice. Where in the first period, it seemed like the Grizzlies were really having more chances offensively than the Oilers were. Really, Tag Bertuzzi should have had a goal in that second period. Sheriff just dropped the puck off for him instead of taking the shot. Miner was down on his chest. Instead of taking the shot, Bertuzzi tried to drop pass it, and it was a pass to no one. No one was home, and so for the Oilers, that was a missed opportunity.
But the Grizzlies, they were able to capitalize on their chances here in the second period. Both goals coming from defensemen. And I'd love to see Kyle Mayhew getting his first professional goal. We saw Richie get his first professional goal here in this game. And then the kids are doing all right. They're having a good game.
Utah's 2 for 2 on the power play. Both power play chances came in the first period. Tulsa had 1 power play chance in the first and didn't convert, and they had 2 power play chances in the second period and likewise didn't find the back of the net. Brandon Cutler leads Utah with 5 shots. Nolan Ritchie, Cameron Wright each have 3, and a few other Grizzlies have 2 shots. For Tulsa, Alex Gilmore has 4 shots. Carl Boudrea and Calvin Watson, as well as McEachern and McLaughlin each have 2 shots for the Oilers. For the Grizzlies, through 2 periods, they've got a slight edge on the face-off circle at 21-20. So it's been pretty even there. Scoring chances, Grizzlies 17 and Tulsa 12. It's going to be an interesting series, especially since it looks like the Grizzlies do have an advantage in speed. And it does look like Tulsa is one of the bigger teams Utah's faced all year.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because as a result of that, I was expecting a little bit more of a physical game. Not really. I mean, there's been some hits here and there, but it wasn't like that Cincinnati series or even that series against the Steelheads where it seems like every 5 seconds we're seeing a thunderous hit. It's just more or less if the Oilers have a chance to take that hit, they will, but the Grizzlies really aren't giving them a chance to do that because they're just so darn fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are outskating the Oilers in this game, and as a result of that, they have a 5-1 lead and it is in the shot count as well.
When we come back in 30 seconds, we'll give you some scores from around the Mountain Division. We'll give you an up-to-date Mountain Division standings update. As Utah leads 5-1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Okay, I lied. It was a 2-minute break. Second intermission here at Maverick Center. Utah leads Tulsa 5-1. Utah's played Idaho 18 times this season. Tried hard not to say Idaho when Tulsa's got the puck. Speaking of Idaho, second at 1 as Wade Murphy scored a second period goal, 7-10, and Zach Corp got Rapid City the lead first as he scored 2:45 and Wade Murphy's goal was in the second period. Not many shots through 2 periods. Idaho with 20 and Rapid City with 14. The other game involving Mountain Division teams, Kansas City defeated Allen 2-0. As the Mavericks got a second period goal, neither team scored in the first period. Hugo Wass scored 11:07 into the second, his 18th of the year, with Tommy Muck getting the assist. And then Luke Stevens got an empty netter with 4 seconds left in regulation, and that put the baby in the refrigerator is Kansas City. Wins 2-0. So Allen did not help the Grizzlies out there. And the updated standings says Kansas City in third place with 72 points. Wichita is not playing tonight. They only have 2 games left in the regular season. They've got 70 points. Grizzlies and Rush are tied with 68 points. And if the Grizzlies can hold on for victory, then they will be tied for fourth place with Wichita. And the Grizzlies do own the tiebreaker against the Thunder. So the Grizzlies would be in line for a playoff position heading into the final weekend of the regular season. And, Guy, I don't think we'd want it any other way.
No, Tyson, it comes right down to the wire. And, I mean, it's not good for our blood pressure, but it makes things interesting. It's been a lot of fun.
It's okay. Mine's already shot.
I mean, we knew this was going to be the case for, as you mentioned in the pregame, months. Like, we've known this is going to come down to this series right here. And so far, the Grizzlies have been up to the task. They've been playing really well here against the Oilers.
4 different Grizzlies have a multiple-point game already. Kyle Mayhew, Cameron Wright, and the Rooster Jordan Martell each have 1 goal and 1 assist. Kyle Betts picked up an assist in each of Utah's 2 second-period goals. So multiple-point games for 4 different players. And, Guy, I really like the way the Grizzlies are moving the puck around. It seems like they've got a lot of different scoring threats, not only from the forwards, but it seems like the blue line. You know, guys like Shearer and Kyle Mayhew, and I think Mayhew's got a lot of scoring potential. And Luke Martin really has been one of the constants as a pro, not only last season with the Grizzlies, but this year starting in Jacksonville. Then he spent some time in the AHL. And he actually had a decent amount of success in Colorado. I think he had a +8 rating, if I remember right. And he's one of those guys that can score from just about anywhere on the ice. And so I think the Grizzlies, in terms of where their roster stands, I think it's about as good a shape as I've seen all year.
I agree, Tyson. I think this might be the best lineup the Grizzlies have fielded all season long. And really, it's astounding considering what they've been through in terms of injuries and call-ups throughout the course of the season. But it's those movings by the coaching staff, man. Ryan Kanasowicz and Jared Pike, they did a great job of just retooling this roster on the fly, adding those guys out of college. You talk about Mayhew, Messner, Ritchie. I mean, just adding those young guns to this lineup has really given the Grizzlies more offensive threats, but it's also given them more speed. And then you get a little bit of help with the reassignment with Luke Martin, and he's such a veteran on the blue line. He makes such smart decisions with the puck, and he's so lethal with that shot as well. I mean, just looking at the power play, he's improved that unit so much just from quarterbacking that thing on the blue line. So for the Grizzlies, I mean, really, it sucks to see those players go down with injuries, but the Grizzlies have done a really good job of being resilient and adding these new guys to the lineup, and when their name has been called, they've been great.
I'll talk to you during the postgame report.
All right, thank you, Tyson.
That's Guy Chiarenza. When we come back, we'll have third period action here at Maverick Center as Utah leads 5-1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. I'm Tyson Whiting. Third period action will begin shortly as Utah leads 5-1. As I mentioned during the intermission, there's 4 different Grizzlies players who have 2 points tonight. Jordan Martell, Cameron Wright, and Kyle Mayhew each have 1 goal and 1 assist, and Kyle Betts has 2 assists. Grizzlies will be skating from our right to our left as we see it from high top section 114. It's the same 5 that started the game. Martell, Betts, and Wright, with Betts taking the face-off. Up top is Aaron Tho. And Kyle Mayhew has had a breakthrough game offensively. He had 6 goals in 5 years at the University of Denver, but it seems like with some defensemen, they end up scoring more at this level than they do in either junior leagues or in college. Taking the draw for Tulsa is Alex Gilmore. Utah wins the draw, and we're underway in the third. We're skating 5-on-5 as Aaron Tho skates along the far side. He'll get to center ice. Crom falls down as he'll get it to the Rooster, who glides it across to Mayhew, drops it off for Wright. Right on the left side was a teammate of Mayhew's at the University of Denver last year for their national championship team. As Betts towards the near side, switches places with Mayhew as Betts with good speed skates towards his right. A drop off for Tho, right wing shot. And a glove save by Riley Morris. Morris replaced Manella in net for Tulsa after the James Shearer goal, 14:05 into the second. And it looks like Morris is going to close things out. He previously played for the Pensacola Ice Flyers in the SPHL. Morris, a Calgary, Alberta native, is 5'10" and 207 pounds. Betts will take the draw 25 seconds into the third period. Utah's outshot Tulsa 29-18. Betts played at Cornell University for 4 years, and the draw bounces off the linesman and goes to the left side. Mayhew gets around Watson. Mayhew centers over to Martell. One-timer goes wide. Might have gotten a piece of a Tulsa Oiler as Mayhew over to the far side. Pokes it away from McKee. Now it glides towards Cameron Wright. Back to Betts. He's on the near side. Betts stops and feeds it up top for Tho. Tho will skate towards the corner. Now get it to Betts. Past the goal line. Betts gets pushed along the end boards by Justin Bean. Right over there as well as Wright gets held up. 2-on-2 scrum along the near corner. Wright gets the puck as he'll skate towards a point. Now Wright trying to break 3 as he'll look to center at the Betts. It gets poked away by the stick of Mike McKee as Watson lifts out to center ice. Mayhew gets around McLaughlin as Mayhew towards center ice. Mayhew's an outstanding skater. He gets it to the Rooster, dumps it in as Martell gets pushed by Watson as deep in the Tulsa zone. As the Oilers to the far side get challenged by Nolan Ritchie. Ritchie, the former Brandon Wheat King, as it goes back over towards Ritchie. It goes to the right point as Martin throws it towards the net and it goes wide. As Pfizer in the left wing looks to center. It bounced off an Oiler. Now it goes back to Pfizer. He gets poked away by Matsushima. Will tap it off the glass. Cutler in the left point rolls it around the boards. Ritchie drops off for Pfizer. Shot is blocked as Pfizer loses his stick. As now right wing, Grizzlies throw it across and bounced off the near boards. Ritchie skates towards the near corner. He gets it poked away by Matsushima. Puck lines towards Martin over to Pfizer. One-timer, and he fanned on it. As the puck goes over to Cutler in the left point. Cutler will chip it towards Ritchie as Grizzlies been in the offensive zone for a while here. Now Pfizer in the left point gets it across to Martin. Martin, right wing, centers it to Cutler. Cutler backhand shot. Morris is on his backside. Grizzlies throw it around the net. Good job by the Tulsa defenseman to bail out their goaltender who lost his balance. Tulsa will throw a pass behind a forward, and it's Matsushima as it goes back to Utah as Luke Martin chips it ahead to Cutler on the left wing. Cutler couldn't handle it as Tulsa will tap it off the near glass. It goes to Tag Bertuzzi, who skates down the middle. Bertuzzi right wing pass glanced off the stick of Keaton Jamison as it glides into the Grizzlies zone off the end boards as Corey Thomas will feed it to the near side. Carl Bedrea over in the right point, dancing around Jamison, takes a shot. I got redirected, but Miner makes the save. Boy, a crafty save by Trent Miner. Looks like he's got his A game as Miner communicates with Corey Thomas. Sometimes goaltenders can lose vision of players if you got multiple bodies out in front of them. I'm not sure Miner really got a good look at it As Minor, after he made the save, said some things to Corey Thomas. When Minor was outstanding in stretches last year, and it looks like he's got his A game. He played well against Idaho in 2 games. It looks like he's been sharp tonight. Grizzlies win the draw. They throw it out to center ice looking for Mick Messner, who couldn't handle it. Tulsa skates from left to right here in the third period as Boudreau throws a right wing pass towards Michael Farron. He gets cut off as Penner moves ahead to Messner. Messner still looking for his first pro goal as it goes past him as it goes deep in the Oilers zone as Saprika glides it out to center ice. As Tulsa crosses center, as Gilmore feeds a left wing pass. Now they start to Boudreau. He'll take a lefty shot. And it goes wide. Now Tulsa looking for the wraparound out in front. Farron shot saved by Minor. And it goes out to neutral ice as Boudreau will re-enter from the right side. As he'll skate towards the right circle. He'll take a lefty shot and it bounces off his teammate Jackson Leaf as it goes towards the far corner. As Mayhew taps it out to center ice as Pouncey takes away from Boudreau. He'll drop it off for Pfizer. Pfizer glides towards the right circle. Take a righty shot. Saved by Morris. Rebound goes to Tulsa as Leaf glides towards the near boards. Now Pfizer over towards Pouncey, who couldn't handle it. Farron will throw a left wing pass to Gilmore. He'll chip it off the boards near his bench as Fitz will bounce it off a Leaf, who played with Fort Wayne 2 years ago and won a Kelly Cup. As the Oilers dump it in, it bounced off a stanchion and glides towards the slot. As though we'll tap it off the near glass. It goes to Fitz, who will move it ahead to Pouncey. Pouncey playing forward. He'll glide towards his right and dump it in from neutral ice. As Morris gets over to Mike McKee. As Grizzlies make a line change. 15:51 and counting left in the third. Utah leads 5-1. Pass to center ice. Watson gets a piece of it as it glides deep in the Grizzlies zone. As Minor throws it towards Mayhew. Now to Cameron Wright, who's got a 1 goal and 1 assist tonight. His 14th multiple point effort of the season. As he'll glide it across to Tho to the far side. He'll chip it to Martell. Back to Tho. As Tho was outstanding against Wichita this season. Over to Martell. Will glide it across to Mayhew. Across the center ice. Now he steps over the blue line. He drops off for Wright, who skates towards the left circle. Now Wright skates towards his right. He'll take a shot. Saved by Morris. Rebound goes out towards the far circle as Tulsa gathers it. Oilers will carry it out to neutral ice. And I'll bounce it off the stick of Cameron Wright. It goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. No icing. So the Oilers make a line change. We've played about 5 minutes here in the third period, and no one has scored here so far in the final frame. Utah leads 5-1. As Shearer gets over to Cutler on the near side. Cutler gets around Dante Sheriff. As Cutler fumbles the puck, he gets it back as he'll tap it off the boards near the Grizzlies bench. As he gets held up by Matsushima, does Cutler. Tulsa comes out of the pile with the puck. As he'll throw it over to Bean. We'll tap it off of Pfizer as it glides towards the Oilers bench. As Utah takes it away. Pass to Pfizer. He hangs out at neutral ice as Ritchie had already entered. Now Pfizer dumps it in after Ritchie tagged back up. As Morris throws it to Bean, he will nudge it towards Sheriff. Pfizer took it away, but the puck rolls back towards Sheriff, who gets it across. As Jarvis couldn't reach it, Andrews his first name. As it gets poked away by Luke Martin, back to neutral ice, and Tulsa resets. Oilers cross center ice. Now they step over the blue line. Bertuzzi glides towards the left side. He gets poked away by Luke Martin. Good job by the Michigan man. Now right point, Bean, right shot, set, saved by Minor. Rebound goes out to Pfizer. As Bean took a righty shot from the right point, as goes over to Luke Martin, who will chip it towards Messner. Gathering it is Ritchie, but it gets poked by Tulsa. As Messner dumps it in from just outside the Tulsa blue line, Carl Boudreau delivered a big-time hit on Messner. As Tulsa out to center ice, Dante Sheriff crosses the red line. He'll cross the blue, will drop it off for Bertuzzi. He'll take a right-wing shot, saved by Minor. As it looked like it got redirected by a stick, but Minor was able to get the change up as it kind of came in at about half speed on the Utah netminder. 13:46 left in the third. It's Utah 5 and Tulsa 1. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Utah 5, Tulsa 1, 13:46 left in regulation. I'm Tyson Whiting. A Grizzlies victory would mean that they'd be tied for 4th in the Mountain Division with Wichita. The Grizzlies own the tiebreaker over them as Penner crosses center ice and dumps it in after Utah wins the faceoff. Penner's played in every game for Utah since he started the 2021-22 season. This is his second season with the Grizzlies. Delayed offside. Tulsa touches up as 13:31's left in the third. Tries to be near the Oilers bench. It's first of a 3-game series. Same teams on Friday night for the final AFCU Friday of the regular season with every AFCU Friday. Tickets start just $8 when you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. Draw one by the Grizzlies, Jamison. We'll throw it back towards the Utah blue line as Semick over to Thomas, who crosses center. He'll nudge it ahead towards Messner. Goes back over to Thomas. We'll throw it back into the Grizzlies zone as Watson chases after it, but Semick gets there first. The Arizona State product will move it ahead to Jamison, who gets hit by Suprika. Puck lines at center ice, taken at the Tulsa blue line by number 16, Carl Boudreau, as he gets picked off by Messner, who gets around Boudreau. As Messner goes down, no call. As Messner gets it back, he'll center it over towards the right side for Cutler. Cutler skates around towards the far goal line and gets pushed by Boudreau towards the end boards. Cutler breaks free, so he'll skate towards the corner now, nudge it back up top for Mayhew. Mayhew will drive it over to the right side, bounced off the stick of Fitz. Fitz will bounce it off of Crozier, who's played pretty well. I think Tristan Crozier has been one of Tulsa's best players. This puck goes back towards Crozier, who played at Merrimack College. He was a teammate of Mick Messner's this year at Merrimack. As Crozier will throw it back to the far side. 12.5 minutes left in the third period. Utah leads 5-1. As Crozier crosses center ice. Tristan's his first name. He gets around Cutler. He'll gain the line, dropping off for Sheriff. Left wing, righty shot. And it's blocked by Shearer's stick as it flies out of play. Draws going to be in the Grizzlies zone. 12:22 left in the third. Miner's been outstanding in net. His backup is Garrett Metcalf, who got the start on Saturday. It was a highly spirited game here at Maverick Center, and really the Grizzlies, I thought, played well in all 3 games against Idaho. All 3 contests were decided by 1 goal, and unfortunately from the Grizzlies' perspective, Idaho won all 3 games. As Grizzlies went 4-13-1 against Idaho. Tulsa wins the draw. Wright takes it away. He skates down the middle. He's got a breakaway. Wright will skate in. Wright a shot. It goes wide as he was trying to get one on Riley Morris. Now Wright over towards Martin. He'll bounce it off of Connor McEachern. As puck flies in the air, it goes to the right point. Martin chips it across to Martell. The Rooster across off the stick of Matsushima. Martin skates over there. He gets it. Both Martin and Matsushima were all-stars this year. As Martin throws to the far corner, Wright gets it. Wright chips it to Martin. He's got good hands, but it bounced off his stick. 2-on-1. Dante Sheriff skates along the left side. He gains the line. Sheriff will skate towards his right. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Miner. And Trent holds on. He's done a good job of controlling rebounds tonight. Boy, 2-on-1, but the Grizzlies did a good job getting back. And by the time Sheriff got his shot off, it seemed like there were more Grizzlies in the zone than Oilers. And Sheriff kind of bobbled the puck for a second on the left side. And he skated towards his right to get around Shearer and fired a shot. And as we mentioned, Miner's done a good job controlling rebounds tonight. Nolan Ritchie will take the draw as puck's won by Tulsa. Bean feeds out in front. Centering pass shot goes wide as Oilers to the right corner. As Crozier gets pushed by Nolan Ritchie. Ritchie wore number 61 last week. As Crozier will glide it along the board. Semick chases after it. 61 now worn by Kyle Betts. As Semick gets the Betts, or make that Pfizer, throws it towards Ritchie, who gets held up near Tulsa's bench at neutral ice. Oilers come back the other way. They cross center. Oilers gain the lines. The puck drifts towards the right point. Cutler pokes it back to center ice. Blake McLaughlin loses the puck as Pfizer skates towards his right. Pfizer fires towards the net and it goes wide. Ritchie and Cutler skate towards the corner along with a couple Oilers. As Cutler drops off for Ritchie and it goes behind him as Pfizer gets it. As Darren Pfizer skates towards the left point, he'll feed it across for Mayhew. As Mayhew gets around McLaughlin, skates towards the right side. Mayhew skates in, lefty shot, saved by Morris. It looks like Mayhew's so crafty with the puck. Right wing Pfizer shot, saved by Morris. And the puck goes back over to Cutler at the far goal line as Cutler surveys, he gets around Crozier. Now Cutler on one knee, gets to Pfizer, righty one-timer, saved by Morris. And he holds on with 10:36 left in the third. A lot of action out in front. Nolan Ritchie getting held up out in front of the net by Andrew Jarvis. Both guys were trying to battle for positioning. That's the thing about Nolan Ritchie. It looks like he's tough enough to battle in those areas. And as we mentioned earlier in practice, he kind of reminded me of the skill set that Zach Sekos has. Sekos probably out for the rest of the season, but it looks like Nolan Ritchie is going to be quite the player. Both teams make a line change. Grizzlies have 34 shots. Tulsa's taken 23. It's a little bit of warmth in the building, and the playoff race is heating up. Guy and I are certainly noticing it. Got to drink a little bit more high-quality H2O. As Tulsa wins the face-off, they lift it over the head of Kyle Mayhew. Aaron Tho chases after it, no icing, as Tho throws it from one corner to the other for Mayhew, nudges the head, bounced off a Tulsa stick and flies into the air. Oilers nudge it back to the near corner. As the Oilers in the attack zone, as they get it over to Boudrea. Now to Saprika. Lefty shot goes wide from the high slot. Saprika gets it back in the left point. He'll glide across to Boudrea. As Boudrea skates towards the corner, he gets hit by Messner. Boudrea back towards number 27, Michael Farr, and he loses it. Now the Grizzlies get a 3-on-2. Mayhew over to Messier. Messner will take a shot. Saved by Morris. And the puck flips out of play. As Mayhew is on the right side, fed it across to Mick Messner. And after the whistle, looks like Aaron Tho wants to go after Jackson Leaf. Boy, Leaf was at neutralized. One of the linesmen had him and was gliding him toward the bench, and then Tho skated after him. Tho talking with the referee. Looks like Tho's upset at Jackson Leaf, but couldn't get after him. Leaf spells his last name L-E-E-F. As Mayhew fed it across to Messner, took a shot, and Morris made the save, and that flew out of play. And whatever happened to Jackson Leaf, looked like Leaf was skating across Tho, and Leaf either said something or he did something to Tho, and Tho reacted. Nobody picked up a penalty on that play. We're going to skate 5-on-5. 9:56 left in the third period. Other scores in the Mountain Division, Kansas City defeated Allen 2-0. So Kansas City's in third place by themselves with 72 points. As the Oilers win the draw, they'll lift it out to neutralize. Matt Tsushima, the all-star, crosses center. He'll step over the blue line as he'll skate towards his right. He gets poked away by Pouncey, but Matt Tsushima gets it back as Bertuzzi has a tap off his stick and it goes out to center ice. Oilers reset as McEachern will move it ahead. As Tulsa throws a right wing pass to Bertuzzi. He'll glide towards the right circle, take a lefty shot. It's blocked by Shearer. Martin has a flip off his stick, and it goes out of play. Got redirected, so no delay of game. 9:29 left in the third, as the draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone. As we mentioned, Kansas City won 2-0. The other score we're watching is Idaho and Rapid City. And it must have been verbal, whatever Leaf said. Tho reacted. He went after Leaf in neutral ice. Idaho and Rapid City are tied at 1 with 16 minutes left in regulation. Rapid City and Utah are tied for 5th in the Mountain Division as each team has 68 standings points. The main tiebreaker is regulation wins, and the Grizzlies have that over everybody they're battling for a playoff spot with. The only two teams that have more regulation wins are Idaho and Allen. As Tulsa wins the draw, they roll it around the boards as the Oilers in the near corner trying to feed it out in front, but McLaughlin was skating the other way. The Rooster crosses center ice. Now he steps over the blue line as he gets around McEachern. As Martell over to Betts. We'll get it across to Thomas. He'll take a right wing shot. It bounced off an Oilers. It hits the side of the net off the end wall as McKee will move it ahead. Puck glides on its side as Semick gets it in the Grizzlies zone. 9 minutes left in the third. So he'll move it across to Cameron Wright. As McLaughlin took it away off the boards. McLaughlin throws it to the near goal line and tried to get it back to McLaughlin. The puck rolls off a stick and goes to Trent Miner. It looked like Tulsa tried to reenact their first period goal. This time it was Crozier looking for the pass instead of Watson. And it looks like Blake McLaughlin has been one of Tulsa's best players. Not only does he have their only goal, but it looks like he's moving around pretty well. And he's generated a lot of ice time and really generated some scoring chances for the Oilers this evening. 5-1 Grizzlies. Both teams will be off tomorrow. Same teams on Friday night. 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 faceoff. Tulsa wins the draw as Jarvis throws it towards Sheriff. He'll take a righty shot, saved by Miner. As the Oilers, Bertuzzi throws it towards the corner, taken away by Mayhew. Moves ahead to Cutler, throws it through his legs. As Bean dumps it back in. Oilers skate towards the right side. Bertuzzi will roll it around the boards. As Tho skates towards the far side, he'll chip it ahead, and it goes to Brandon Cutler. 3-on-2, Utah crosses center ice. Cutler steps over the blue line and gets to Ritchie. Ritchie back towards Cutler. It glides towards Morris. He makes a save. Now Cutler hacking away along the near goal line. Puck lifts to Morris, who makes a save. And after the whistle, Brandon Cutler's really wanting to go after an Oiler. Well, Brandon Cutler wants to get physical. I can't see who the Oiler is, but he really wants a piece of somebody. Well, it was Justin Bean that Cutler really wanted to go after. Looks like Cutler's going to get a penalty. We'll see if Bean goes to the box as well. Looks like Cutler's going to get a standing ovation from Section 114 and all-around Maverick Center. Justin Bean will skate to the penalty box as well. As Cutler had the look from Ritchie, and Cutler got held up by Bean, and then Cutler with a shot. Morris made a routine save, and then Bean pushed Cutler towards the net, and then Cutler says, "You're not going to do that without getting some glove in your face." Both guys get 2 minutes for roughing. Cutler skated towards the penalty box. He just had enough of Justin Bean there. We're going to skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. 8:15 is left in the third. As Nolan Ritchie will take the drive as a center with the Brandon Wheat Kings. Looks like he's taking more faceoffs tonight than he did against Idaho. Grizzlies won the draw as Martin tried to get it over to Ritchie. It's taken away by Ethan Stewart. Stewart skates towards the left side, tries to get around Luke Martin. And Stewart gets past Trent Miner and in the net. As Stewart trips up Miner. As Miner gets back to his feet, Grizzlies enter the attack zone. As Ritchie to the right side gets to Pfizer. As Ritchie went down, arm is raised. Riley Morris behind the net plays it. And we get a whistle. Looks like we get a penalty. Ethan Stewart's going to go to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. 7:51 left in the third. Kyle Mayfield, the Grizzlies fan, says, "Let's go this way, big guy." Ethan Stewart's going to sit in the penalty box. His brother actually has a connection to the Grizzlies. Ethan Stewart's brother is Hayden Stewart, who is a goaltender who spent most of his career in the SPHL. Hayden Stewart, if you remember, was signed by the Grizzlies on December 28th of 2021. He was supposed to meet the team in Rapid City, and he tested positive for COVID. And because of that, because of Ethan Stewart's brother Hayden testing positive for COVID, we had the Brady DeVries emergency goaltender game. Brady DeVries won 4-3 in one of the most amazing stories ever. As Utah wins the draw, we're skating 4-on-3 as Martin has a glance off his stick and it goes out to center ice. Martin gets it back, the former second-round pick of the Carolina Hurricanes. 52nd overall as Martin over towards Pfizer, across to Ritchie, who gets the hot pass and corralled it with ease. Now to the right side for Mayo. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Morris. Rebound goes to Tulsa as Matsushima clears it out. 7:16 and counting left in the third. Utah still leads 5-1. As Mayhew crosses center ice, we're skating 4-on-3. Mayhew gets around McKee. McLaughlin with a back check as he rolls it towards the near boards. McLaughlin tries to skate out of the zone, and he'll get there and skate across center ice. 1-on-2. McLaughlin's got good speed. He'll skate around Luke Martin. He'll take a shot, saved by Miner. And we get a whistle as it looks like Martin's going to get 2 minutes for holding. As McLaughlin, displaying good speed, got around Luke Martin. McLaughlin couldn't get a good-looking shot off as by the time McLaughlin got around Miner, Martin had held him up, and McLaughlin was a little bit too close to Miner. So Martin's going to the box. Martin says, "Look up at the video board. I didn't hold him." Well, if he did hold him, it was a very brief moment. But Martin gets 2 minutes for holding, 13:05 into the third. And so we're going to skate 3-on-3. No, it's not overtime, but we're going to skate 3-on-3 here in the third period. 40 seconds left in the 3-on-3, and then we'll skate 4-on-4, and then Stewart will come out of the box. That's complicated. Hopefully you're watching on Flow Sports. You can just see on the score bug as Tulsa wins the draw. They'll skate out of their zone to center ice. You almost have to treat this as if it's an overtime period with the style of play. Pedrea moves it ahead as Tulsa steps over the offensive line. As McLaughlin gets back checked, though, takes it away. Now McLaughlin takes it back away from him. As McLaughlin fires towards the net, and it bounces off of Betts. Now at neutral ice, Aaron Tho crosses center. Now he steps over the line and skates towards his right. Tho drops it off for Betts, who will skate towards his left. He'll feed it to Wright. He's in the left circle. As Wright surveys, now Wright will skate towards his right. He'll chip it out in front to Betts, who tried to find Tho cutting in front of the net. Pass goes wide. Right, will clear it all the way out of the zone as Cutler and Bean both exit the penalty box. We're skating 4-on-4. Bean skates to the bench, and Cutler joins the play as he has the puck. He crosses center ice. Now he steps over the blue line, gets around McEachern. Near side, takes a shot, and it hits the side of the net. Once the puck drops, Tulsa gets control of it. Less than 6 minutes left in regulation. Oilers gain center ice. Matsushima gets around Penner. He drops it off. The only guy there is Cutler. As Ethan Stewart's out of the box, Utah's now shorthanded. So Cutler crosses center ice and dumps it in. As Tulsa spins along the near wing boards, goes into the Grizzlies zone as Corey Thomas gathers it. 5:36 and counting left in the third. He'll move it ahead towards Jamison. He'll chase after it. Jamison along the end boards, gets pushed by McEachern. And the Oilers come back up with it as the Oilers skate from left to right here in the third period. Watson crosses center. He'll skate towards his left. He'll enter the zone. He'll drop it off for Bean, who skates down the middle. Bean looks to center, but bounced off of Thomas. Sure fanned on clearing it out. And Sure will skate towards the corner. He spins around the boards, and it hits off the protective netting and goes out of play. 5:13 left in the third. Utah leads 5-1. 18 seconds left in the Kansas City 5-on-4 power play, and Luke Martin will come out of the box. It is very warm in the building. A fun atmosphere here at Maverick Center. Have a little bit more of a chill evening as Utah's got the 4-goal lead. Grizzlies win the draw. Mayhew gets it. So he'll chip it ahead to right, but Mayhew gets it himself. Mayhew gets around Boudreau and gets knocked down. Fans wanted to call, but none to be had. As the puck glides along the near boards, Grizzlies will fire a shot, and it's blocked just to the near side as Martin's out of the box now. It's a Utah disaster cleanup, successful penalty kill. As Oilers cross center ice, they step over the line. Left wing pass, lefty shot, saved by Minor. Rebound, Messner trying to clear it out. It stays in. Matsushima gets dragged towards the corner. Now Matsushima gets around Pfizer. He also gets around Tho as Matsushima gets held up by Tho. As Marteau with the back check takes the puck away. He'll glide it across to Messner. It's to the left wing. Messner chips it out in front to Pfizer. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Morris. Arm is raised by the referee. Now it looks like hooking is going to be the call. As Taran Pfizer's speed out in front of the net. Draws a penalty. Carl Boudreau goes to the box. 2 minutes for hooking. 4:27 left in regulation. We'll tell you how this one ends when we come back. It's the Grizzlies 5 and the Oilers 1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
It's Utah 5, Tulsa 1. Grizzlies are on the power play as Carl Boudreau with a hooking penalty, 15:33 in. Grizzlies win the draw as they're in the offensive zone. On the left side of the screen, if you're watching on Flow Sports, as Richie drops it off for Martin on the left side. Over to Cutler. Back to Martin in the high slot. Over to Richie on the left side. As Richie surveys, he'll get to Pfizer. Now up top for Martin, who slices across to Cutler. One-timer, saved by Morris. Utah with 2 power play goals in the first period. That's certainly something that Utah has wanted to improve on. They spent most of practice yesterday working on the power play. Richie with a power play tally, 14:55 into the first, and then Martel scored with 19 seconds left in the first period. Draw one by Tulsa. They clear it out as Nolan Richie chases after it. Richie's out there along with Martin, Jamison, Pfizer, and Brandon Cutler. As Martin deep in his own zone will start the attack. He'll skate down the middle. Less than 4 minutes left in regulation. He gets the center ice. He'll drop it off for Cutler. Across to Pfizer, across the center ice. Now to Cutler, who chips to Ritchie. He's the near side. Look to center to Jamison. Bounced off him and rolls to Martin. He glides it to Pfizer, who feeds it across to Ritchie. Ritchie in the left point. Bobbled the puck, but kept it in. Martin trying to get it back to Ritchie. It tapped off the Tulsa stick and exits the zone. Ritchie over to Pfizer. Everybody tags up as Pfizer tosses towards the far corner. McKee cuts it off, and the big defenseman clears it all the way towards Trent Miner. Both teams make a line change. 3:11 and counting left in the third as Utah leads 5-1. As Kyle Mayhew with 1 goal and 1 assist tonight crosses the center ice. He's a candidate for a star honor. We'll drop it off for Wright, who's got a similar stat line. Over to Betts, who's got 2 assists. Back to Wright, who skates towards the left circle. Take a shot, and it goes wide. As went over the shoulder of Riley Morris as Tulsa clears it out. Betts chases after it. It seems like Kyle Betts is a little bit faster than he was at previous stints with the Grizzlies. Ahead to Cameron Wright, who moves ahead to the Rooster across the center ice. Right wing pass to Betts, who drops it off for Martell on the right point. He'll slice it to his left for Mayhew. Mayhew over to Martell on the right side. He'll take a righty shot, and it's blocked by Ethan Stewart. As coming out of the penalty box is Carl Boudrea. As Tulsa's back at full strength. That 2-on-2 battle along the near boards. Wright comes out of the pile with a puck. Left wing shot, save. Rebound shot, saved by Morris. As Wright slams his stick to the ice. After the whistle, some pushing has looked like a couple Oilers had Dylan Fitz pinned towards the boards. Cameron Wright skates over there. Now a couple Oilers want a piece of Cameron Wright. Carl Boudrea takes Wright by the jersey and drags him a little bit. Wright will now skate towards the Grizzlies bench. And the Oilers will do the same as both teams cease and desist with 2:20 left in the third. Grizzlies are up to 42 shots. Tulsa has taken 25. Kansas City defeated Allen 2-0. Rapid City and Idaho are in the third period. And Rapid City now leads 2-1. That game with 8.5 minutes left in the third. Utah wants Idaho to win that one. Tulsa wins the draw. They cross center ice. Matsushima dumps it in as Semick will throw it to Penner on the near side. He tried to chip it out. It's gloved by Boudrea, who dumps it back to the corner on the near side as Thomas gets it. He skates around Miner's net as Pouncey wearing an A tonight. Moves it ahead. The Grizzlies captain Connor McDonald is out. The Grizzlies have 3 guys with the A's on their sweaters. Shearer, Fitz, and Pouncey. As Tulsa enters the zone, good poke check by Pouncey as it goes towards Bertuzzi. Will skate towards his left and lose the puck. As Shearer throws it towards Pouncey, who drops it off for Messner, who gains center ice, and he'll dump it in. Messner was a college teammate of Tristan Crozier. Crozier now with the Oilers and Messner with the Grizzlies. As Tulsa gets out to center ice, they cross center. They get around James Shearer as they skate towards the left circle. Now they get around Tho. As the Oilers around Utah's net, they're now on the right side. As Leaf trying to feed it across, it bounced off the skate of Tho. Rolls back to Shearer. Now the Oilers, Bertuzzi to the left side. As now he'll skate towards his right. He's near the blue line. As Bertuzzi being shadowed by Keaton Jamison. As Bertuzzi gets it across off the boards. As it goes to McEachern. Connor's his first name as he'll skate around Utah's net. Now feed it back to Leaf on the near side. Leaf, the former Comet, centers it. Picked off by Shearer. Gets hit in the back by an Oiler. No call. As Grizzlies will tap it off the near boards. It bounced off a Leaf, who tried to feed it across, but instead glided it out to neutral ice. So the Oilers are reset. Tulsa at center ice will drive a shot saved by Miner. Will hand it off to James Shearer. 40 seconds left in the third as this baby's in the refrigerator. In fact, it's probably been in the refrigerator since the latter portion of the second period. Pass ahead to Cameron Wright, who got held up. Now he breaks free. Wright, far side, shot saved by Morris. Now Wright gets it back, looking for the wraparound, saved by Morris again. Now Wright towards the right side, dropped it off for Penner. Shot saved by Morris. 22 seconds left in the third as Cameron Wright looking to pick up his second goal of the game and team leading 26th of the season. Wright was the Optum first goal of the game score. 7:04 into the contest as Wright and Taryn Pfizer are now tied for the club lead with 25 goals on the season. It's interesting to see Utah take another 45 shots on goal tonight as the Grizzlies have averaged just under 39 shots over the last 25 games. On February 11th, the Grizzlies were 25th in the league in shots per game, and now they're 11th in the league in shots per game. As draw stayed in the circle for a while, both teams jostling for position. Now it goes to Matsushima, 13 seconds left. He'll clear it out to center ice as Oilers cross center. 8 seconds left. The Oilers will dump it around the board, around Utah's net. 4 seconds left, and the Grizzlies' pursuit for a playoff spot gets a victory tonight as the Grizzlies win 5-1. Period. Amen. This one's over, and the Grizzlies win as Utah now has 70 standings points this season. They are tied for 4th in the Mountain Division with Wichita. Kansas City won tonight 2-0, and Rapid City leads Idaho 2-1 halfway through the third period. High fives all around as everybody goes to congratulate Trent Miner, who had a solid night as he saved 25 of 26. Grizzlies got 1 goal and 1 assist performances by 3 different players. Jordan Martell, Cameron Wright, and Kyle Mayhew. As Mayhew picked up his first 2 professional points. Nolan Ritchie picked up his first pro goal on a power play tally with 5:05 left in the first period. And Kyle Betts had 2 assists in his return to Utah as he played the first weekend of the regular season. Then he was loaned to the Belleville Senators, and he stayed in Belleville until this week. Grizzlies waving the flag as Grizzlies are victorious tonight. Final score for Maverick Center, it's Utah 5 and Tulsa 1. 2 games left in the regular season. We want to see a big crowd here at Maverick Center for an AFCU Friday. As tickets start just $8 when you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. And don't forget that Saturday night's going to be Star Wars night as well as Fan Appreciation Night as the Grizzlies are looking to clinch a playoff spot. They might have a chance to clinch on Friday. If not, this could come down to the final game of the regular season. That will be on Saturday night for Star Wars night, Fan Appreciation Night, as the Grizzlies get back in the winning road as they swept Wichita a couple weeks ago. They got swept by losing 3 straight 1-goal games to Idaho. But tonight, the Grizzlies defeat the Oilers 5-1. Postgame show starts in 30 seconds. We'll be joined by Guy Chiarenza. Once again, the final score, Utah 5, Tulsa 1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Final score at Maverick Center, Utah 5 and Tulsa 1. As Grizzlies' 3-game losing streak comes to an end, as we got the 3 stars of the game. The third star, he picked up his first professional goal, Nolan Ritchie. He averaged a point a game in his WHL career. He had 70 points in 67 games with Brandon this year. As he tossed a T-shirt in the front row of Section 125. The number 2 star is Cameron Wright, who had 1 goal and 1 assist. Wright was a +3 and had 7 shots. So Cameron Wright is the number 2 star. Wright now has 14 multiple-point games this season. That leads the club. The number 1 star, wearing number 6. He had 1 goal, 1 assist. He had 3 shots. Kyle Mayhew high fives his former college teammate Cameron Wright, as Mayhew will toss a T-shirt into the front row of Section 125. Mayhew was outstanding tonight, and Grizzlies had a great defensive performance, and Trent Miner had his A game. Tulsa really earned that 1 goal they scored on a nice play that was scored by Blake McLaughlin, but otherwise it was all Trent Miner. We'll get to the scoring here in a couple minutes, but Guy, great effort by the Grizzlies to pick up the 2 standings points.
You said it, Tyson. Great effort all around, offensive, defensively, and in net. Every single Grizzly played their best game tonight when it was needed. And as a result, the Grizzlies pick up 2 critical standings points.
The Grizzlies are now tied for 4th in the Mountain Division. We know they're tied with Wichita. We're not sure about Rapid City. Rapid City leads Idaho 2-1 with 4 minutes left in regulation. As we sit right now, Allen lost, but they stay in second place with 75 standings points. Kansas City is in third place by themselves as the Mavericks defeated Allen 2-0. Wichita and Utah are now tied for fourth. And remember, the Grizzlies do have the tiebreaker over Wichita, which is regulation wins. And Rapid City, they could pick up 2 standings points tonight, and so it would be a 3-way tie for fourth place if Rapid City wins. We'll see if we can give you an update on that score, as now there's less than 4 minutes left in regulation, as Rapid City still leads Idaho 2-1. The deciding goal right now is scored by Rory Cairns. 9:30 into the third period. He picked up his 17th of the year. Carter Robertson and Matt Marshnow with the assists. Let's get to the recap of the scoring of this game. Cameron Wright is the Optum first goal of the game score. 7:04 into the contest. He hit the left post, then he hit the right post, and then got the rebound and put it away as Daniel Manella was trying to locate the puck. That gave Utah a 1-0 lead. Wright's goal was scored unassisted. Blake McLaughlin scored on a nice centering feed out in front from Calvin Watson. McLaughlin got his 12th of the year. Watson and Tristan Crozier with the assist. Crozier played his college hockey at Merrimack. He was a teammate with Mick Messner's, and I thought he was one of Tulsa's best forwards. Grizzlies got 2 power play goals late in the first period as Mike McKee got a hooking minor, 14:48 in. Grizzlies capitalized 7 seconds into the power play as Nolan Ritchie from the left side got his first as a pro, with Luke Martin and Brandon Cutler getting the assists. And then Grizzlies got back on the power play late in the first period as Alex Crom got a boarding minor, 17:58 in. It was very late in the power play. I think there were 7 seconds left in the man advantage when the Rooster on the left side fired a shot that was blocked by McKee, and Martell got it back, and on a little bit of a better shooting angle was able to get one past Daniel Manella, as Martell now has a goal in 8 straight games. Utah led 3-1 after one period as Grizz outshot the Oilers 18-5 in the first period. The Grizzlies extended the lead 13:28 into the second as Kyle Mayhew picked up his first professional goals. He scored from the left side. Cameron Wright and Kyle Betts with the assists. And then 37 seconds later, 14:05 in, James Schur got his 6th of the year with Martell and Betts getting the assist. So 2 second-period assists for Kyle Betts. And James Schur found the back of the net for the 6th time this season. It was looked at on video replays. It bounced off of Manella and trickled past the goal line before Manella could recover. Tulsa outshot Utah 13-10 in the second period. In the third period, no one scored a goal. Utah outshot Tulsa 16-8. The Grizzlies were 2 for 4 on the power play. Tulsa was 0 for 4. I did notice in yesterday's practice, the Grizzlies worked a lot on both the power play and penalty kill units, and that really paid off. You know, and I think the big thing about the power play is it can be unpredictable in the long run because you got scoring threats all across the ice, not only on one power play unit, but on 2. As the Grizzlies do seem to be about as deep in the forward spots as I've seen all year, and it really showed in the power play late in the first period.
The power play was great here tonight, Tyson. And I think that's the first time in a long time that we've been able to say that, and it feels good. When you talk about the Grizzlies having a lot of scoring threats, not just one unit, but both units, and there's really a lot of cohesion on those units. I mean, a lot of guys are on the same page. They know what they want to do. It seems like they have a scheme, they have a setup, and they were able to execute it well here tonight. 2 power play goals for the Grizzlies, and it's great to see.
Well, it looks like the scoreboard, though, isn't doing Utah any favors tonight. Kansas City won 2-0, and Grizzlies fans were hoping for an Allen victory. Rapid City still leads 2-1. That game now with 1 minute left in regulation. So if Rapid City comes away with the 2 standings points, they very much stay in the playoff race. And I think Rapid City knows that Wichita's just got 2 games left, and both of them are against Allen. And even though Idaho is going for the single-season wins record, looks like Rapid City, has maintained that 2-1 lead. And now there's just 1 minute left in regulation. It's certainly interesting to see the subplot with Scott Burt, the Rapid City head coach who had spent many years as a star with the Idaho Steelheads. In fact, Scott Burt's jersey is retired at the Monument, or his jersey is retired at CenturyLink Arena, or Idaho Central Arena that used to be known as CenturyLink Arena. And Scott Burt's one of the Steelheads legends. And it looks like Scott Burt might end up doing some damage against his former team if Rapid City can deny Idaho a celebration tonight for the all-time wins record. And that would hurt the Grizzlies, as Rapid City would stay in the playoff race, and they would be tied with Utah and Wichita for 4th place.
Well, Scott Burt looking for some revenge, and he might just get it tonight, stemming the Steelheads from that all-time wins record and also getting some traction on the Grizzlies in the playoff race. But, I mean, as we said before, if the Grizzlies win out, they own all the tiebreakers against the teams that they're jockeying with for that final playoff spot or that third seed, depending on where the Grizzlies end up. So, again, if the Grizzlies win out, then they'll be just fine. I mean, initially coming to this game, you said the Grizzlies needed to win 2 out of 3. I think that was true at the start of that game, but seeing the scoreboard and how it's going tonight, seems like the Grizzlies might need to win all 3.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think, the Grizzlies have the old saying, you control your own destiny, but the Grizzlies really do. You win all 3 games in this series, no matter what happens, because Utah does have the tiebreakers. They're going to be in the postseason. Now, do they get the 3 seed or did they get the 4 seed and they end up facing Idaho in the first round? It remains to be seen. I mean, Utah did go 4-13-1 against Idaho this year, and they went 4-8 against Allen. Otherwise, the Grizzlies really had their way against the rest of the division. So, and we'll see how things shake up over in the last minute of regulation. But right now, Rapid City leads 2-1. Anything stand out to you tonight? I mean, the Rooster got a goal in 8 straight games. Really about the time the Utah scored their 4th and 5th goals of the second period. It was all she wrote. Both teams just kind of skating it out in the third period. I think the one thing that stood out to me, though, Trent Miner had a pretty outstanding game, stopping 25 of 26, and I thought Tulsa really earned that goal in a nice-looking play out in front of the net. Otherwise, Miner was perfect, and he did a great job tonight controlling his rebounds. There was not many second chances for Tulsa there.
Yeah, I mean, Trent Miner quietly had a really solid game for the Grizzlies, and so we talked about the power play and really the special teams overall needing to gain some traction. They did that here tonight, getting 2 power play goals and going 4 for 4 on the penalty kill, which I thought also looked good to complement the power play. And Trent Miner, I mean, goaltending takes you far in the playoffs. Just look at the last Stanley Cup champions. I mean, look at these teams that go far in the playoffs. The common denominator is great goaltending, and the Grizzlies are getting that out of Trent Miner right now. He had a solid game, and really the defense helped him out. Not a whole lot of high-quality scoring chances for the Oilers. So the defense as a unit looked really solid, and I think that's due to the addition of Luke Martin back to the Grizzlies. I mean, brings that veteran presence. He's just got such a high hockey IQ, lethal shot, brings a lot to his game, and the Grizzlies have benefited from that. But also on offense, I mean, the young guns. Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about Nolan Ritchie. This is a guy that was over a point per game with the Brandon Wheat Kings, and it's easy to see why. I mean, he moves with such swagger in the offensive zone. Seems like he's got lightning in his skates as he's just zipping around everybody. And he gets his first pro goal tonight, which ends up being the game winner. Really happy for him. And then Kyle Mayhew also gets his first pro goal. A defenseman moves around with such speed. He's not a big guy, but he's able to play great offensively and defensively. And I also thought Mick Messner, who didn't score in tonight's game, I thought he looked really solid as well. He was winning races to pucks. And really, that was the big thing for the Grizzlies all night is they were winning those races to the pucks. Yep. They were winning those battles along the boards. And usually if you do that, you're going to come out and win the game. And that's exactly what the Grizzlies did tonight.
Final score from the Monument, Rapid City 2, Idaho 1. So Rapid City is now in a 3-way tie for 4th place with Utah and Wichita. But remember, the Grizzlies doing the tiebreaker against both teams due to regulation wins, which is the number 1 tiebreaker in this league. So, as Guy had mentioned, maybe you need to win all 3, but hey, the Grizzlies do control their own destiny, and the schedule is in the Grizzlies' favor in terms of quality of opponent. Kansas City hosts Cincinnati for 2 games on Friday and Saturday, and Cincinnati is one of the best teams in the league. Rapid City's got 2 more games against Idaho. I mean, how motivated are the Steelheads? How much do they want to rest some players and make sure that they're fresh come playoff time? Hard to be seen there, or hard to really say. Wichita has 2 games against Allen this weekend, 1 game in Wichita and 1 in Allen. So really for the Grizzlies, you just have to find a way to take care of your own business. The scoreboard's going to take care of itself, but you got to find a way to take care of business. And they did so here tonight, winning 5-1 in convincing fashion. It's kind of interesting to think about the scoring chances. Utah had 44 shots tonight. 27 of them were conserved scoring chances. For Tulsa, they had 26 shots, and 16 of them were scoring chances. So a lot of scoring chances both ways. I think the big thing for the Grizzlies, watching Kyle Mayhew and the way he just kind of slithers around, and Cameron Wright, battling for those positions out in front. I mean, the big thing, we thought about it coming into play. The Grizzlies get off to an early lead is Tulsa at the end of kind of a season that they'd like to forget. You get a lead like that, is Tulsa really going to be that hungry to bounce back in a game and really put together a comeback effort? So we saw the Grizzlies get off to a big lead and just kind of cruise to victory.
That's exactly what they needed, Tyson. I really felt that the Grizzlies needed to get that first goal and play with the lead in this game. That's something that they did right from the get-go. I mean, the Oilers never had a lead in this game. It was all Grizzlies throughout this game, which is something that they needed to do. And so you think about the way the Grizzlies played here tonight, it was pretty convincing. It was a convincing win, but I mean, it seems like the thing with the Tulsa Oilers is just inconsistency. I mean, this is a team that came out and beat the Maine Mariners a couple weeks ago, and Maine's a pretty good team. They're playoff bound. So it depends on what Tulsa Oilers team we saw tonight. I mean, they don't have anything to play for in terms of the playoff race. I mean, they're eliminated. They're a week away from golfing. But for the Oilers, it's, hey, these guys knocked us out in 7 games in the first round. Rob Murray probably takes offense to that. He said, you know what? We might not be in the playoff race, but, let's give these guys a tough time. And so I would not be surprised if we see a different Oilers team in the next 2 games here that really gives the Grizzlies a run for their money. But it's hard to bet against the Grizzlies right now. They played a really solid game. If they continue to play like that, I'd say they're playoff bound.
Grizzlies 5, Oilers 1. Once again, the 3 stars of the game. Nolan Ritchie, who got his first professional goal. He's the 3rd star. Cameron Wright with 1 goal and 1 assist, the 2nd star. And Kyle Mayhew, no, not Kyle Mayfield, Grizzlies fan, but Kyle Mayhew with 1 goal and 1 assist. Well, the next broadcast of Grizzlies hockey will be on Friday night. Guy, you got the second period?
Oh, boy.
You got the middle frame.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll see how that goes. I thought this was a good game here tonight. I thought I really caught fire in the 3rd period. So, I guess we'll see how that goes. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. It'll be an AFC Friday. Tickets start just $8 when you pay using your AFC debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. I think it'll be interesting to see, what the rest of the games in the league looks like. There's only 1 game in the league tomorrow, and it's not a division game. I think it's Greenville playing Savannah or something like that. So we'll do some more scoreboard watching on Friday. The big thing is the standings won't change between now and the time the Grizzlies play on Friday, where Utah is tied for 4th with Wichita and Rapid City. And remember, the Grizzlies do have the tiebreaker. So if the playoffs start tomorrow, Utah would face Idaho in the first round, and Allen would host Kansas City. Well, it was a lot of fun here this evening. Any final thoughts?
Really dominant and convincing win by the Grizzlies here, Tyson. I mean, they got the early lead, surrendered the next goal, but ever since then, 4 unanswered goals by the Grizzlies, and seems like they're catching fire right now at the right time as they're vying for that last playoff spot in the Mountain Division, or the final 2 spots, depending on how things go. But right now, the Grizzlies look good, and heading into Friday night, I'm pretty convinced that the Grizzlies have another good game in them.
Kyle Mayhew, Cameron Wright, and Jordan Martell each had 1 goal and 1 assist. Kyle Betts had 2 assists in his first game back. And as I was talking with one of the off-ice officials, looks like Betts is a little bit faster than what he was previously with the Grizzlies. Not only last season in the playoffs, but the first 2 games in the regular season this year.
Well, it's funny because I was looking at the comparison between the Grizzlies and the Oilers on Hockey DB or Elite Prospects or something like that. And I was looking at the experience in terms of AHL on both teams and AHL games played. The Oilers have about 50 to 60 games in the AHL in terms of experience. The Grizzlies have over 300. And so it really showed here tonight. The Grizzlies were playing like a veteran team. You got guys like Kyle Betts, who spent 40 games with the Belleville Senators. That kind of conditioning, that kind of mentality that the AHL brings, it really does things to a player. It makes him a better player. And so I think on that stint with the Senators, Kyle Betts got better. And, man, he was showing it here tonight. Had a really solid game. Good to see him back with the Grizzlies.
It'll be fun to see Kyle Betts and the rest of the Utah Grizzlies on Friday night for the final AFC Friday of the regular season. Don't forget, Saturday is going to be Fan Appreciation Night, as well as Star Wars Night, as the Grizzlies will be battling for a playoff spot. Well, once again, in 2 hours and 24 minutes and in front of a crowd of 3,524, the Utah Grizzlies defeat the Tulsa Oilers 5-1. Utah went 2 for 4 on the power play, and they were also a perfect 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. That is 4 Utah Disaster Cleanup successful penalty kills. With Utah Disaster Cleanup, they are the #1 producer of disaster cleanup services in Utah. Since 1974, they've been there for customers when they need them the most. That's Utah Disaster Cleanup. Well, 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off on Friday night for the middle game of this 3-game series. For Guy Chiarenza, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is.